Wow, what's up? Quick meme to start the stream. And you gotta go through this thread. Missed dunk. Fuck.
Yikes.
Did he just say nigga?
Oh, wait, but the kids are all black. It's okay, right? I can't tell. Oh, I moved all my stuff. Very sore and tired. It's a lot of stuff. I'll change all the lighting and shit later, but it's kind of in progress right now, okay?
You co-authored the city resolution.
Oh shit. I've seen clips of this, but I haven't actually watched it yet.
Resolution that made anti-Palestinian LA United School District resolution a city council priority and was used to shut down the United Teachers Union of Los Angeles's members' historic BDS resolution vote as a result of a smear campaign. What do you have to say about that characterization? Is there, like, has there change?
How has his mic gotten so much bassier and muddier? Jesus.
Has there been some change in your analysis of the situation? Do you feel like those decisions in the past might have been wrong? What was guiding your framework at the time, and what has changed is what I'm trying to arrive at.
It's the clip
yeah,
audio.
you know, I think I have become more aware of these issues over my time on city council. This wasn't where I had organized before. My organizing background was really around housing and homelessness issues. That's
The Vesta board is not connected. Oh shit. Is it not? How was it connected before?
how I came to the DSA originally. I liked Bernie Sanders, and they were the only organization locally talking about renters' rights. And I appreciated that. That's why I got engaged on this issue. And, you know, I think my work on the city council has changed, especially after we've seen the horrors in Gaza.
Gaza, Gaza.
You know, I feel like I know more, although I will confess this is still not my area of expertise. I'm still really focused on the issues facing Los Angeles, and we'll continue doing that.
Okay. Well, the reason why a lot of people, myself included, see this as a important moral test is for the obvious reasons. Some of the reasons that you also acknowledge, but the other reason is because like it's a pretty reliable litmus test to try to figure out if politicians and people who are, you know, seeking out positions of governance are responsive to the needs of the masses, especially considering that this is, you know, now the Democratic Party's overwhelming majority position, rather than beholden to corporate interests. This is the reason why it's like a very effective litmus test, and that's the reason why I'm asking you about it. And like the you know, honest transformation that may have taken place in your worldview, so it doesn't come across as simply someone like, for example, Scott Wiener, who very actively pushed for a lot of pro-Israel provisions, and then now is trying to claim that he actually recognizes that there is a genocide that has taken place because he has a congressional seat that he's trying to win at a time when, you know, everyone is on board. So if there has been a difference in opinion or a change in your mentality, what has been some of the things that you saw that made you reconsider?
Jesus Christ. Get to the point.
You know, I spoke out about this issue in the ceasefire resolution and in city council because I saw the violence in Gaza and was moved by it. And
Is he reading his chat while he's asking these questions? Or I always love that the person's like trying to make eye contact with him, but he's just like.
And I think that a lot of people across the country have had that same evolution. And it is, you know, it is.
He put his chat into emote only mode. King.
Has been one of the biggest issues animating this country, especially in the last election. And, you know, I think I've moved with the people.
Okay.
I've learned more.
Do you?
And I'm committed to learning more as well, while also acknowledging again that the mayor's seat is not primarily one that is focused on foreign policy issues. And I think
No, of course not.
It
and she's here right now, I think, and we'll have her in here in a moment. It's like how Chicago being mayor sucks ass because you have to deal with the alderman system. So electing good aldermen is more important than mayor, low key. Yeah, I agree. Speaking of which, Bernie just endorsed the entire DSA New York slate. Well, New York City, I believe. Not all the congressional races. I think the congressional race endorsement structure is different for Bernard. Okay. Hold on. Let me. Where is the? Can you send me the doc link too? Thank you. Hello. What's up? Yes, of course. And so are you. Yeah. All right.
You want me here?
Yeah. Let's have you right there. All right, Nithya Raman, everybody. I already gave your introduction while you were coming in, so we're just gonna dive right into it. So we have a very important mayoral race coming up. You're a council person.
Yes.
What made you decide to run for mayor in a system where the mayor is technically weaker than the collection of council members?
Well, the mayor has a lot of power here in Los Angeles. I think it is a weaker mayor system than in a city like New York or in a city like Chicago. But the mayor here does have a lot of power. The biggest power that they have is essentially managing all of the departments. They get to hire and fire department heads. They get to set their priorities. They get to make sure that they're actually doing their jobs. They create the first draft of the city's budget, and then the council takes it on and kind of wrangles with it as well. But the mayor does have a lot of power, and a lot of those powers were given to the mayor during the last charter reform process. And I want to make sure that we're actually using those powers to advance better goals for Los Angeles. And I was looking at this mayoral election and disappointed by the lack of choices that would have brought us in a better direction, and, decided to throw my hat in the race. Okay.
So you've distanced yourself in the past from Zohran Mamdani. I want to ask you, or at least according to this Forward magazine article, but I don't know if that's still the case. This is what the Forward magazine article said, that, can a Democratic Socialist who affirmed Israel's right to exist, can she be LA's next mayor? Nithya Raman thinks she can win over city's Jewish voters. Step one, convince them she's not Zohran Mamdani. We can start there, or, I was going to ask you.
Jesus, okay. Right off the bat with the adversarial questions, okay.
The Zoran method, what are your top 5 policies?
Yeah.
The Zoran
why do you think
method?
the Forward magazine has this kind of assessment?
I think it's just because I am.
The Zoran method, what are your top 5?
Is it Zoran or Zoran? I thought it was Zoran Mamdani, but I hear so many people say Zoran.
Policies.
Yeah.
Why do you think the Forward magazine has this kind of assessment?
I think it's just because I am different from Mamdani. I have been a city politician for the past 5 years, and I have a record that I ran on, that I'm running on right now. I have led in LA the largest expansion of tenant protections in this city.
Don't care.
In 40 years, I actually led the process through which we lowered allowable rent increases
Don't care.
in rent stabilized units here in Los Angeles for the first time in 40 years. Increases went from being, up to 10% to now being capped at 4%.
Don't care.
I took away the extra 10% surcharge that landlords could pass on to tenants if they had a second kid. This is how our system was built here in the city of Los Angeles. And I've really worked to try and make it a fairer one for working people, for low-income renters, for people who are really struggling here. And that's been the core of my work at City Hall.
Okay. But let's do the Zoran method. What are your top 5 priorities for Los Angeles, and how would you go about implementing them?
Well, I want to address the cost of housing, and I want to do it in 2 ways. I want to make sure that we're protecting renters better. We have a lot of laws on the books. Our city departments are not oriented around protecting them. I want to create an office of tenant protections in the city, and I want to make sure that everything that the city does when a tenant reaches out is really about making sure that people can stabilize and stay in their homes when they're facing unfair evictions. I also think we need to build a lot more housing here in Los Angeles. I don't know how much you know about the history of LA, the history of housing politics in Los Angeles, but this city has pushed back against the construction of new housing and in ways that have made it more segregated. Wealthier neighborhoods have pushed back housing a lot. And we have a shortage of something like 500,000 units of housing, especially affordable housing. I believe, housing really should be a right and people need to be able to afford to live here. The city cannot build the amount of social housing, public housing that we need. And I want to make sure that we are able to generate more units so that the cost of housing actually goes down. So for me, this is really at the core of what I want to do here in LA. I also think we need to address homelessness with services, with shelter, and make it really effective so that people don't lose faith in our system right now. I think a lot of people are looking at our responses to homelessness. This is a city that has taxed itself 3 times in the last few years to pay to address the crisis on our streets with compassion, with care, with shelter, with housing. If we don't make that system work for people, I think people lose faith in government. And I really believe in government, and it has to work. We have to show that this approach of offering shelter, offering services can work to address the crisis on our streets. Otherwise, people will turn away to a much more carceral, much more, enforcement-focused system that I think is really bad for Los Angeles.
Out of the top 3 candidates, you actually have a lot of experience with homelessness initiatives. You have a lot of hands-on experience. One of the most frustrating things that I saw on that debate stage was when Spencer Pratt was talking to you about how, if you want to fix homelessness, if you think you can communicate your way out of homeless people being homeless, you should go talk to them. And yet out of that debate stage, you were the only person who has actually had a hands-on approach on this. I wish you would have brought it up in that moment to be like, I actually have.
Well, I tried. I was shut down a lot in that debate.
I actually have, literally.
Wait, what does that even mean? I don't know any of her policies, but just because she's from a Tambaram family, I don't like her. What is that a meme or?
Communicated with
Tamil Brahmins are an elite caste in South India. Oh, damn, get fucked.
Homeless people and
Well, do you want the inferior castes? I mean,
have had a very successful initiative in moving them into permanent shelter.
Yeah.
As opposed to these patchwork solutions that are usually offered.
Spencer Pratt wants to respond to our homelessness crisis, I think, in a way that is really grounded in making people feel afraid and in kind of engendering fear of people on the streets. And I think we can address this crisis effectively, and we can address it with real policies that work, and that is sheltering people, that is housing people, that is making sure that people have mental health services and substance use services. We have to do that work if we really want to make sure that we're addressing homelessness
Can you talk
effectively.
directly about what you have done for people that might not know as far as your initiatives? Because I remember there was a very successful one where you guys went into a lot of the homeless encampments and established a point of contact and a relationship with these people instead of just engaging in these mass sweeps that are oftentimes very damaging where there's a lot of destruction of property and the like. It was a much more humane method and it was much more successful. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So across my district, we have actually reduced street homelessness by 54% in just a period of 3 years. And we did that not by pushing people across the sidewalk to another sidewalk or pushing people into another neighborhood, but by going to them encampment by encampment, person by person, offering shelter, offering housing, moving people indoors. And then once people are indoors, then you can clear the sidewalk and, get rid of the trash, and those areas stay clear because people's homelessness has actually been addressed. I think that is the most important aspect of this is that we have to address homelessness. You can't just push it around from place to place. That doesn't work. It's never been proven to work. This is the only evidence-backed solution, and it is also the only humane solution, and it is what we've done in my district, and it is that system that I want to bring citywide in a much more effective way than we're doing it right now.
Yeah, housing policy and homelessness are intertwined with one another in a very important way, even though a lot of people like Spencer Pratt and even, no, not right now. A lot of people like Spencer Pratt and even others, like even Karen Bass to a certain degree, don't often make that connection. Los Angeles has the fewest homes per adult in the country.
Yep.
18 to 24-year-olds are being the fastest growing demographic in among the homeless. There's been a 64% increase. So you've talked about increasing housing construction, about your propositions are about tripling annual housing construction. There are some critics of this, though, however, obviously. There are some NIMBYs, some critics of this say that this benefits the developers and it will gentrify communities. How do you ensure that the housing boom still serves working class Americans rather than wealthy investors?
Well, first, I want to make sure that new housing doesn't displace existing residents. That is really important. That's why you need to do protection and production side by side. That's why I've been so focused on making sure renters are protected throughout my work. And I want to make it a core focus of my work if I'm mayor as well. But I also think that you can build new housing in ways that actually benefits communities and doesn't actually accelerate displacement. So you can create plans for cities that ensure that working families are safe by making sure you're planning in ways that creates more density in neighborhoods that are wealthier, that have historically resisted it, while limiting new density, limiting new growth in neighborhoods that are really suffering from gentrification and displacement. And you can embed that into your plans for the city. You can embed kind of protection of working class people right into the plans that you have for where you want to build more housing. And that's exactly what I've pushed for in my time in council successfully, and exactly the vision that I have for building more housing going forward. I also want to be very clear that the market will not provide housing for everybody. Not everyone will be served. There are going to be the lowest income Angelinos, the people who will never be able to afford what the market is providing them. And that is where I think the government needs to step in. We have to build public housing. We have to build social housing. We have to build affordable housing. All of this is part of my vision for how we address our housing crisis, but we have to do all of it if we want to actually get us out of this moment of crisis here in Los Angeles.
So you mentioned public housing. Are you in favor of socialized housing then? You're in favor of public housing?
I love public housing. I phone banged for HHH, which was actually an expansion of supportive housing, which is I think of as public housing. I campaigned for Measure ULA, the mansion tax, which is giving the city a source of funds for building new housing for the first time. And we're building affordable housing. We're building social housing. We're building exactly the kind of housing that is free of market constraints that can serve the needs of those people who aren't being served by the market.
Okay. Wow. You've blasted Karen Bass's Inside Safe program that's designed to reduce homelessness. Can you explain a bit about the program and why it's had its problems, like the $85,000 per year price tag for a simple motel room? There's some other stats we can get into as well. 40% return to the street.
Yeah.
$225 a night in motels. Only 1,243 of the 5,800 participants served moved into permanent housing. And it's $110 a day for food, but people were served instant noodles.
Yeah, it is. I think the program at its core is something that I think is important for LA. Like, let me just be very clear. I support effort.
You know what an interesting question would be? Nobody will ever ask it, though, because nobody can do media ever anymore. We just gave up. Is the next time somebody interviews us on, you should ask them who wrote these questions for you. Because somebody wrote these down, right? He didn't do any of this research. He doesn't know fucking anything about literally anything. It'd be interesting to ask him who wrote these questions for you. Yeah, what was the purpose of the interview, you know?
Efforts to shelter people in housing that is dignified. And the motel program is one pathway to doing that. But the way that the program has been designed and the way that it has persisted in its design for many years is that it is too expensive to address the scale of the crisis And we are leaving people on the streets because we're not doing the work to actually generate the kind of shelter that we need. We cannot do that. We cannot allow people to suffer on the streets of Los Angeles. This is the moral crisis of our time. And we absolutely cannot waste money on too expensive solutions that don't bring as many people indoors as possible. I want to do the work to actually build a system that's effective at sheltering people, that brings people indoors into options that are more cost effective and that are actually better at keeping people housed.
This seems to be a consistent problem with a lot of California projects statewide, and certainly is an issue in Los Angeles as well. How do you address corruption that takes place in certain programs such as this one, where clearly there are, in certain instances at least, friendly NGOs and even friendly for-profit institutions that take on government contracts.
Yeah.
And instead of trying to create the most efficient system possible, it simply serves to pay the people that are friendly with the government, or at least are lobbying the government. Is there a way to address this corruption inside of Los Angeles?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I've been really focused on oversight. I think oversight is really important. And it's not because I think government is corrupt all the time. Like, I really believe in government. In this job because I want this city to work for the people of LA. And programs that are too expensive like this, instances of corruption that show up, every time that happens, residents lose trust in their city government. And that's bad for Los Angeles. That's bad for this city. And I've really pushed on the issue of homelessness to make sure that we are creating a system of oversight that really works, that we know where every dollar is going, that we know how the money is being spent, how many people are being brought indoors, what kind of services they're getting. And if we don't do the work to build that system, people will lose faith in government. And I worry about that. I don't know about you. I mean, you've lived here for over a decade now, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know how you feel about the city and the city government, but I feel like people have a sense of alienation from their city government right now. People have a loss of faith. And I don't know whether you're seeing that reflected in your experiences with Los Angeles, but
definitely. I mean, I think there's a lot of issues with Los Angeles city government. Okay, I have a question for you. So we've talked.
Is he not capable of engaging at all with anything she's saying? Did he not have any fucking idea what she was saying there, or what was going on, or?
Talked a lot about these initiatives. We talked about corruption, and you talked about a bloated budget.
He's got to stick to the script, Steven. He's a fucking, he's like a bona fide retard. He's like, all right, lady, why are you trying to talk to me?
Yeah.
I got questions
Next
for
question.
you.
Hell yeah.
I paid for this. I'm getting them out.
Instances, you've been critical of Karen Bass and the way that she's used the existing city budget in the past. One of the questions I obviously have is Kenneth May's analysis as well. This was a huge problem where it seems that the police budgets have increased over and over again. And part of that was in an effort to justify additional budgets for the police, a police union budget that you've also criticized. Karen Bass actually took away some of the funds from the technicians that were responsible for fixing the fire engines. This led to less fire engines being readily available in the wildfires as well. So there were obviously a lot of criticisms of Karen Bass. Some stupid, some silly, and some valid. Do you agree with the assessment that the police budget is ginormous and is eating away at some of these necessary social services, some of the necessary services like even the lights?
This is a hard question.
Being turned on at night.
Right?
What?
Do you think that the police budget is too fucking big? Because aren't you going to get like all of the fucking police dudes on your ass if you say yes?
It doesn't matter. These guys have zero connection to real life politics. In their mind, police bad, police union bad, because it's for killing black people. That's it. They're not like plugged into. For her, yeah, it's kind of a challenging
difficult question.
Yeah, but all of his questions too are like people are writing down these facts and numbers and shit for him, and yeah. Like he's not doing any of the research on any of this. So yeah, these are like very specific questions that are probably fairly tough to answer. And yeah,
in many streets of Los Angeles.
Yeah, I mean the size of the police budget is driven. People talk about our annual budget, but it's really the size of the police budget is driven by the contract and the size of the contracts that are signed. And the mayor is the lead in negotiating that contract, and then the council has to approve it. And in 2023, we approved a new contract for LAPD, which I spoke out against, I pushed back against, which gave the PD more money than the city had. And that, along with kind of other knock-on effects, led to a $1 billion budget deficit in the city last year. $1 billion. Mm-hmm. We were about to lay off 1,600 workers in response to that budget deficit. We barely avoided those layoffs. And what we did to avoid those layoffs was to cut every single city service down to the bone, every single one.
A lot of questions, not a lot of answers. Never a yes or no.
Triple as.
We cut things like pothole repair and graffiti removal and streetlight repair. And now we have 30,000 broken streetlights across the city, and the average repair time
Didn't cut Israel.
for a broken streetlight in Los Angeles, the second largest city in the richest country in the world, are a year on average to fix a broken streetlight here. We didn't pave a single mile of street the first 6 months of this fiscal year because we just didn't have the money. And I think these kinds of issues are hugely problematic for
She said Israel has a right to exist.
our ability to deliver not just social services, but even just the physical infrastructure and the physical services of the city. And, it is driven by that contract.
Okay.
And so now the city's struggling. We have a really big problem.
So I do have a tough question here for you on the police budget. I'm sure you're ready for it. But around the same time as Black Lives Matter was taking place and the George Floyd protests were happening in 2020, you openly called for defunding the police. You have since then said that you do not want to defund the police, whatever that might mean. Obviously, for many at the time, there were different attitudes. I want to hear what you meant when you said defund the police.
Yeah.
For me, it means taking away some of the expansive police budgets and reappropriating it to social programs, homelessness initiatives, and the like, and also allowing there to be crisis managers that go to specific cases like domestic abuse and instances like that are
Like that.
that don't require immediate armed police response. Your platform
called the cops on his ex, or do you think he would try to call a crisis manager?
True. Domestic disputes. I wish you would ask him. You're talking about domestic disputes where you wouldn't send a cop. Could you give an example of a domestic dispute that's so bad that 911 had to be called, but you wouldn't send a police officer to that domestic dispute? Can you just give an example of what that might look like? Fucking retard.
for transforming Los Angeles Police Department into a much smaller specialized force. However, in February 2026, 2 days after the launching of your mayoral campaign, you told NBCLA, we need to maintain the size of our police force. Was it, wokeness rising up everywhere in 2020 that led you to say that? What did you mean by defund the police?
What?
And why has your assessment changed since then?
After being in government for the last 5 years plus, I think it is really important to make sure that we are able to respond to calls for help from the public. If we don't answer 911 calls quickly and with the right people showing up when you call, I think we lose the faith of Angelenos, and that really concerns me. Right now,
It's so many white, spoiled fuck kids that have never even called 911 in their lifespan. We don't want the cops to show up. Do we need cops? No, we just need nice people to show up. When people are calling 911, they just want nice people to show up and talk and have nice conversations. Isn't the LAPD full of gangs?
Right now, I want to have a very honest conversation about how we deliver that. We don't have an alternative crisis response system built out citywide. I've pushed for increases to that. Mm-hmm. We have actually increased that. I've done that in partnership with other council members, and I'm really excited about that. But what we need is a citywide, unarmed crisis response system that I want to build out as mayor and I want to fund as mayor. But we only have that in patchwork pieces, and we absolutely need to be able to respond to calls for help. And right now, LAPD is our only response system. And I think that we have to be honest with our constituents and with the public, even when, it means maybe saying different things than you said before about how we actually ensure that we're able to respond to calls for help.
Okay.
I think I as mayor, I have a different vision for how we actually build out that unarmed crisis response system, though. Right now, it's a patchwork. It's only in a few neighborhoods. It doesn't integrate with our 911 system effectively. So if you call for a mental health crisis worker, you can be on hold for 50 minutes. And then it takes even more time for somebody to come out. I don't think that's a crisis response system. You have to have it work with 911. Wow. And that is the system that I want to build out. And my dream is for a system of public safety in Los Angeles where when you call for help, someone picks up the phone quickly and the right person shows up when you call. It can be an armed officer when you need one, and then it can be that unarmed crisis response person when you need.
Are they just racist? I don't remember where like Indians stand on the Western imperialist shit. Do all the lefties hate Indians because of like Modi and shit? Or I'm not up to date on what my ML programming is supposed to be for. The calling out of the family name or the casting, that's some shit I've never seen in my life. So I don't know where the memes are coming at from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently that was really big in the beginning. And then, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of weird shit in here, but I don't know. India loves Israel too. Oh, was that a thing as well? Okay, maybe, yeah. All right. Jesus.
It's all Israel, huh?
A mental health responder, homelessness response, whatever it may be that.
Hassan was praising Pakistan a few days ago. Okay. Yeah. So then the India is like the loser there, and then Pakistan, that's like the West-East thing. Gotcha. Okay. Sounds good. Okay.
Never requires an armed officer and maybe safer and better if an unarmed person comes up.
So let me just get it out of the way. I'm not a police abolitionist. This is very frustrating for some of my anarchist fans to hear. I believe that, police serve a necessary role. The problem with policing is not the existence of police necessarily. Some unit has to maintain the presence of law and order. However, the problem that I have with Los Angeles Police Department and police departments all around the country is that they don't really do their jobs. They don't do their jobs efficiently, or sometimes they don't do their jobs at all. Or when they're doing their jobs, they do it in a very violent manner. Obviously, the LA Sheriff's Department has a litany of other complications. The question for you is, and this is an obvious problem for Zoran as well, has been plaguing Zoran's
That's his boy,
mayoral administration.
That's his boy. He basically got him solo elected. Do you know that?
He did.
He got him solo
That's his guy.
elected.
Which is why she should watch her mouth, because he could get her elected.
Whoa! What do you mean by that? She should watch her mouth.
You know.
You need to chill. Moot, you need to chill. What's up, Sneako?
How do you plan to, at times, hold the police accountable, make the police force a more efficient force that actually serves the interests of all Los Angelinos and not just, I don't know.
Not just the white, rich ones and the Israelis.
Whose interest they're serving currently, but serving their own personal interest.
Yes. The police officers get together like, who are we gonna police today, guys? Just for shits and giggles. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think that's I would agree with some of the critiques that you have of LAPD, and I think accountability and responsiveness are really important. And I think that starts with leadership. I think it is embodied in who you pick for the police chief. And, I would be appointing a very different kind of chief who understood how important it was for LAPD to be responsive to the needs of immigrants in LA.
It's just so fucking cringe, bro. In an ideal state, cops would be subservient muscle that takes orders from a social worker. What does it even mean? Cops are here to serve capital, Hassan. Is she in support of psych evaluations of every police department member? God damn, how much money are we going to spend on that?
Who understood.
Police protect property and will smash any schools to achieve that goal.
How important these issues related to accountability and transparency are. I don't think we have that in our current police chief, and that's one way in which.
How is he so bad at interviews? I don't even know what the purpose of this interview is. I don't know. It sounds like they fucking hate this woman because she's Indian or not a socialist. So I don't know if the point was just to blow her up a little bit, or if Hassan's just trying to get his like foot in the door for LA, California politics, or I have no idea. Or just like a cloud interview, but he clearly doesn't know anything about it or give a fuck about it. So I don't know. But hey, who knows?
I think you change how those exact questions that you asked about are answered in Los Angeles. There's also a police commission in place, and the mayor's appointees actually form that police commission. And I would want to pick individuals there who are driving forward towards those exact goals that you talked about, towards greater accountability, towards greater responsiveness, making sure that the needs of Angelenos are being addressed by our armed police response when needed. And I think that's really what I would be doing. These are the tools that are available to the mayor that we don't have as council members, and that I would want to use for those goals.
So, for the record, in 2025, I've had altercations with Los Angeles Police Department, including.
Oh my God. What, were you out there fucking bare knuckle fighting them hand to hand? He's going to say, including when I got shot by them. He's going to say it. Ready?
No, he won't.
Yep.
No way.
Yeah, he will. If I'm right, you have to crush your balls. Okay? Ready?
1,500 ball crushes.
1,500 ball crushes.
That I would want to use for those goals.
So, for the record, in 2025, I've had altercations with Los Angeles Police Department, including them shooting rubber bullets at me.
1,500. You have to get that machine. What's it called? Will it blend or whatever the fuck?
Will it blend?
Yeah, you have to put your balls in that machine. 1,500 crushes.
When we were at the ICE protest, you voted in favor of a $5 million loan to pay those police officers overtime. What was the decision making there? Is this just the cost of doing business? Is this just politics?
Well,
is this something that you stand by?
Well, when people work overtime, the city has to pay them. They had already worked that overtime. When people work that overtime, they're due their paychecks from the city. And when they don't get paid, they sue the city.
Really?
And then we end up
So
paying them
Nazis
not
deserve
just their
paychecks
overtime, but
then.
also
True.
the cost of the lawsuit. So, I'm not making decisions about overtime. I don't make decisions about deployment. But once that is happening, once people have already worked their jobs, that's part of the contract that all city employees sign with the city, which is that if you are asked to do a job, you get paid for it. And if you don't, you get to sue the city to make sure that you're paid. So that was just a very practical response to the situation. Like I said, the biggest impacts for
Email only
the
mode.
LAPD budget, the graphs that Kenneth Mejia is Controller Mejia is putting out, have to do with the size of the contracts. And I think, when we talk about how we actually impact these issues, I think thinking about that contract process, thinking about how you actually have a real debate about what you need to maintain the size of the force that we need for Los Angeles versus how much money we actually have to spend on police versus everything else that we need to pay for. That's the conversation. That's the place for that conversation.
Let me ask you straight up. Do you think that it's the head count that is a problem? Because that's what Karen Bass claims. And I think Spencer Pratt claims that as well. And that there needs to be more law enforcement officers that we hire? Or do you think the real problem is that we're not utilizing the existing massive behemoth of a Los Angeles police force that we currently have appropriately to efficiently, engage in response?
I think deployment is a huge issue that we don't have a lot of good answers to. There was a study conducted last year from RAND that the police department actually commissioned that talks about exactly this question and found that many officers who are supposed to be deployed out in the field are actually doing secretarial or administrative work, even within our existing police force. So they talk about the fact that we don't have enough police officers, but they're not deploying all of our police officers in the way that the police chief.
Yeah, reminder. Hassan's altercation with police.
Oh, this place is good. So,
Honestly, I think. Like a shout out.
Oh, wait, this isn't really one. It's just a meme. But
How you doing?
hey, what's going on, man?
Peace. Happy New Year.
You too. A-cap.
Honestly.
Hardcore.
wants them to be
Whispers
deployed.
it.
That's challenging. I think
said-
we really
Wait, you said what? I said
do need to think about deployment, how we're sending people out, where we're sending people out to, and how we're ensuring that that deployment is generating the greatest safety. Here's the other thing that I really want to underscore. A lot of calls that police officers are answering right now don't need to be responded to with armed officers. And if we don't invest in our alternative response systems, we will never be able to take that call load off of LAPD and actually manage deployment better for where armed officers are actually needed. This is why a citywide unarmed response system is so important. This is why we need to have it not just in a couple of different neighborhoods, but really across the entire city. And this is why it has to be integrated with our 911 response, not a system through which you're waiting an hour plus for someone to come out.
Yeah.
Oh.
I agree with you
Yeah.
for sure. So you're saying that you're in favor of maintaining the current head count, but also lifting some of the burden, the workload that cops are currently engaging in an effort to make them a more efficient force that can deal with solving crimes and things.
How do you do that? Just make it so they're all doing less work, but don't
Make them do better.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you need to be able to investigate. You need to be
Okay.
able to solve crimes. You need to be able to address, rings that are doing a lot of the bad things that we're dealing with.
All right.
Rings, yeah.
Let's get to ICE a little bit. We got to talk about that. Trump deployed 700 Marines to our city. Federal agents in unmarked vehicles arrested and disappeared over 10,000 Los Angelinos last summer, including U.S. citizens holding people in basement cells in the Royal Federal Building. You called the raids cruel and unconstitutional. As mayor, will you commit to refusing any LAPD cooperation with ICE for any reason and to even prosecuting agents who break state law? And do you believe ICE should be abolished?
I do believe I should be abolished. Absolutely. And I would absolutely commit to no cooperation with ICE between LAPD, not just LAPD, any city department, any city database. None of that should happen. Sharing information with federal law enforcement just simply should not happen. Federal immigration enforcement. I'm proud to have been one of the co-authors of the Sanctuary City Ordinance here in the city of Los Angeles because I believe this so strongly.
I don't even care if it's an electorally popular position. It would be if you fought on it, and it's just such a correct position. You should share for violent crime. It's just such a loser position. You don't ever want to be in a scenario where some illegal immigrant is in prison for something violent, they get released and they kill somebody. It's just such a horrible. It's bad optic. It's probably bad morality. Bad process. Like, that's an easy one. They're violent criminals and they're an illegal immigrant. Then
Strongly. I am an immigrant to America myself. I'm a naturalized citizen. And so this issue is really personal to me. It's really personal. It is something that I think strikes at the heart of what this city is. This is a city of immigrants. And we have to be fighting and really demonstrating to our residents that we stand up for them and that LAPD shouldn't even be appearing to cooperate with ICE. I think that, again, it really undermines trust in the city. And I think it's bad for LA if that's the case. We really have to be much more forceful about this.
What are some immediate provisions you have in mind that could potentially address the friction between ICE and local law enforcement, or even create necessary friction? One of the things that I suggested to Jacob Fry was, it's a pie in the sky idea, but the potential.
people like El Sayed keep saying they want to abolish ICE. I don't get they want to replace it with, or do they just want to deport any people at all? So there's a good reason why we should abolish ICE, and there's like good talks to be had about what should replace ICE. But the problem is that most of these like lefty loser commie fucks just don't think we should enforce immigration at all. So that's the issue. Like when Hassan talks about it, when the fake Dr. El Sayed guy talks about it, it's all just bullshit. They just don't want to enforce any immigration law at all. But the actual reason is because there shouldn't be a such thing as Article 2 judges. It shouldn't be that the executive branch gets to like evaluate their own immigration cases. ICE as an organization and their mission has just been beyond fucked. The reputation of that sub-agency or whatever is just so fucking horrible that we could probably just roll them back to whatever existed prior to ICE existing. Like we enforced like internal immigration stuff prior to ICE existing. We can go back to doing it that way. But these guys just don't want to ever... These guys just don't want any immigration, anything enforced. That's what but it's just all retarded shit.
Potential ticketing of ICE cars if necessary, because they do love parking illegally regardless. Is there any such enforcement that you have in mind, like the violation of mask bans, for example?
Yeah, I think making sure that when there are city or state regulations that are trying to protect Angelenos, including the state mask ban, which is right now, by the way, the courts deemed it unconstitutional, and now the state is working on a new one. Our chief of police said that he wouldn't enforce it. I think we have to enforce laws that are in place to protect Angelenos. The state and the city are working towards putting those in place so that we have more of these protections. We absolutely should be enforcing them. That may look different from what, from things that might be dangerous. So, for example, on the mask ban, our city attorney may need to play a more important role because that kind of violation is a misdemeanor. And the city attorney can actually go out and prosecute people for not following those rules and regulations. We can actually
What was the mask
make
ban,
sure that
you
we're
know?
What?
What was this mask ban that they're talking about? Do you
I
know what
have
exactly
no
it
idea.
was?
Nope,
Okay,
no
okay.
clue.
stepping up and prosecuting actively when federal law enforcement is not following local regulations. And I think that's what the city needs to be
ICE
thinking
got it.
about much more. But I also want to say that in the response to ICE locally here, community groups often took the lead. And I would really like to see a much more robust organizing backbone from the city and from the mayor's office. Across Los Angeles, we've seen differential impacts of ICE raids, which are still continuing. Lots of activity and money coming into certain places, donations, all of that. And in other places, lots of raids with not a lot of support. I think the mayor's office should act as kind of that backbone for response and make sure that resources are being directed where they're needed, make sure that we're doing active know your rights trainings in multiple languages. This is a city that has an incredible diversity of people. We have to be able to go out there and talk to all of them and make sure that they have the tools they need to stay safe. And that can and should be anchored in a mayor's office that sees this at the core of their function.
All right. We're going to get back to housing, and I have some more questions for you on that front. Voters passed the mansion tax, which you said you were in favor of, to fund affordable housing and tenant defense. In January 2026, you moved to carve out a 15-year exemption for developers. United to House LA called that a boogeyman for tax breaks for developers. Are tenant organizers wrong, or are you giving developers what they want under the YIMBY label?
Well, I actually think that what I was trying to do was measure the mansion tax. I think it's really, really important to have that money in place. Mm-hmm. And the mansion tax is facing some very real threats. There is efforts in Sacramento to put an elimination of the mansion tax, of transfer taxes entirely on the ballot. It's now on the ballot. And we're going to have to spend a lot of money to ensure that
It's 40 more minutes, bros. Holy shit.
measure doesn't pass. And the biggest driver for that measure being on the ballot was LA's mansion tax and opposition to it. I thought carving out this 15-year exemption for new multifamily housing would actually make it so that the state level initiative wouldn't have gotten on the ballot. It got a lot of funding from people who were frustrated that the city wasn't taking action on these issues. That being said, I also do think that we need to be building a lot more housing. The city and the state and the federal government are funding public housing, social housing, all of affordable housing. We're building to our fullest capacity. And guess what we're building every year here in LA? A few hundred units. That is not enough. We need more housing to make sure that working class people can stay here. We need more housing to make sure that young people can come here and see this as a city of opportunity. We absolutely need more housing. We have to make sure that the market is building what we need, whether it is housing for families, whether it is lower cost housing, not just $5,000 studios. And we can generate planning laws that do that. But I will never back away from the statement that we need more market rate housing as well, because the city simply cannot fund all of the housing that is needed.
All right. You're an urban planner.
Mm-hmm.
We have some big events right around the corner.
Yeah.
Measure HLA, health.
Why is Hassan's chat against more housing? They're against, they talk about this thing called the decommodification of everything, but of housing. So if houses are sold or bought or developed or whatever, it's always immoral or bad. And it can only be like the government making houses for free. It has to be all social housing and all public housing. So anything that's not that, these people will get ass pained about.
Healthy Streets Los Angeles was passed in March 2024, but only saw 400 feet of compliant bike lanes built in the year that followed. We've also lost over 260 of our neighbors in traffic crashes since HLA took effect. You authored the Transit Signal Priority Motion. You supported the Mobility Plan 2035, and were one of the only 6 council members to endorse the Healthy Streets Los Angeles initiative measure. As mayor, what happens to LA Dot leadership and the council colleagues who spent a decade slow walking the transit network Los Angelinos have already voted for and also paid for? And this extends to virtually every other ballot initiative and measure because, as we all know, people in Los Angeles and even in the state of California broadly will vote for the most advanced, most progressive ballot measures. And then, unfortunately, city government and state government fucking stops it dead in its tracks for decades until people say, what the fuck happened? How do you fix that?
Yeah, well, I really believe in better transit. I really believe in making sure that people have an alternative to their cars. And by the way, this is a economic justice issue too. We shouldn't have a city where you have to also have a car in order to get around.
Yes.
I think it's totally
people need to be
possible
running
to
way
build out
more.
a public transit infrastructure
Or that.
and a
Okay.
walkable, bikeable infrastructure that allows people to have options, that doesn't force people to buy a car in order to just get to their jobs. But we're not doing that right now. And a big reason is because our departments are not delivering on these outcomes for people. I have a pretty clear sense of how we can change that. We need to do better coordination. It isn't just the Department of Transportation that's responsible for delivering these outcomes. It's the Bureau of Street Services. It's the people who build our sidewalks. It's the people who build, who plant our street trees and maintain those. We have to be able to, in order to deliver on the big, ambitious goals of HLA, ensure that all of these departments are working together in a cost-effective way, such that we can actually build out the mobility network of our dreams. And I'm pushing for exactly that kind of leadership across these departments and changes in our processes that will ensure that we're building that transit infrastructure. There's also ways that we can invest in transit infrastructure that are not crazily expensive, that won't break the bank, that can actually generate much safer streets. So, for example, in neighborhoods, you can put in very low cost interventions like bollards and roundabouts within neighborhoods to create a neighborhood network of calm streets, not on your arterials, but inside a neighborhood where the traffic is slower, where it's safer for families to walk, where it's safer for kids to bike. Like, that's the vision that I have for Los Angeles. And we can build that out with relatively low cost interventions. And we should be doing that. I think that's what a lot of families in LA want.
What's your vision for a more robust public transit that's readily available? I know you've talked about buses quite a bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have somewhat of a metro system, but it's, the problem with Los Angeles public transportation is that it's unreliable, and you can't have a public transportation system that's unreliable. Buses don't come on time.
Yeah.
And the routes don't go to every different part of the city.
Yeah.
What's your plan to address that? Or is there even a plan to build out a more robust public transit system?
Yeah. So our public transit system is largely controlled by Metro, which is a regional entity. The mayor has 4 appointees on Metro, the mayor's seat and 3 other people. And I want to use our Metro contingent to push for speedy completion of the projects, the big transit investments that are going to be the most transformative for the city of Los Angeles, to ensure that we have the connectivity and the big investments that can actually transform our capacity to get around LA using transit. So that will include the Sepulveda Transit Corridor, which can help get us off of the 405, which can get us from the valley to the west side in less than 15 minutes. It's absolutely incredible. We have to be pushing for these kinds of big transit investments to be built. That means making sure that we have a plan for investment. That means making sure that we are pushing as a delegation to prioritize these projects and not letting other lower ridership projects take precedence. And I'm really excited about doing that. We have underutilized our role on Metro to get what we need for Los Angeles over the last few years. And I want to change that. I want to be a leader at Metro again, and I want to deliver a system of transit that really works for us in LA. But can I talk about one other thing, which is I think, bus transit is really important. These big train projects are fun. They are exciting. They're important. But most people who take transit actually take the bus.
Whoa.
And I think making sure that buses are more frequent and making that a priority for Metro, fighting for that as a priority for Metro is something that I think is really important for us to be doing. I'm also really proud to say that for the first time, because of something that I led on City Council, the Raise LA program, we're actually building out bus shelters across the city. Have you seen those new kind of pale green bus shelters?
I have not.
Well, they're all over LA. We're building hundreds of them now, and in the future we'll be building thousands.
Duh.
And
Fucking idiot.
That effort came about because we took the advertising revenue from those bus shelters and put them right back into building more bus shelters. And so now with a steady revenue source, we're actually building out transit infrastructure, including shaded bus shelters that are going to make getting around on transit so much better for people. And I'm really proud of that work.
Come on, lady. Let him get to his next question.
Next one.
Well, this also ties into what I'm about to talk about. One of the
next thing.
One of the things that you would be overseeing as mayor in 2028 would be the Olympics. The man in charge of organizing the event, Casey Wasserman, recently sold off his talent agency due to his connections with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. He had sent gross flirty emails to Ghislaine. A few months ago, he was pictured meeting with wanted war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu. You called for...
What?
Isn't he like a full-out grown man? He can't send flirty emails to a girl?
They were disgusting, Mootin.
Or Casey Wasserman's, you called for Casey Wasserman's resignation, but then you proceeded to say you'd work with him every day once the board kept him.
What?
How do you envision working with someone every day
who loves
like
Israel?
Casey Wasserman.
Who loves Israel?
Who
loves Israel? Who loves Israel?
Capitulation, or is there any other alternative here?
I mean, the reality is that the Olympics are happening and that the LA28 board has the power to pick their leadership. If I were mayor, my goal would be to make sure that the Olympics are being executed in a way that benefits Angelenos and doesn't harm them, and that we have the best possible event that we can have. And I will do whatever it takes to do that. That is what you have to do when you're in leadership. You don't always get to pick your partners. You don't always get to pick who you're working with. You have to do what it takes to deliver for the residents of Los Angeles. That's what I want to do.
Weird.
Okay. As far as the Olympics taking place,
No.
is there an opportunity here to justify additional expenditure on a more robust public transit network, given that traffic density will be completely out of control and it's virtually impossible to pack people into small areas like where events are taking place? The only reason why this kind of problem doesn't exist in even places like New York is because of adequate public transit. Is there an opportunity there to justify additional budgets for Metro and also specifically for bus lanes as well?
I'm sorry, what was the claim there that New York City doesn't have issues when there are massive events happening?
That was his claim.
Okay, based.
That was, I think we can definitely invest in getting around, especially allowing for buses to get around through dedicated bus lanes during the period of the Olympics. And I think there's an opportunity to ensure that the investment that we're doing for the Olympics is actually, if when appropriate, being preserved for the long term. So it's not just an investment that we're but using and then, taking away, that we're actually building permanent infrastructure that can last for the city of Los Angeles afterwards. That would be a very exciting thing to think about as part of our investment process. But, I will say that the the reason why we have had money for things like the D-line expansion, why we have some money for things like the Sepulveda Transit Corridor, is because we, as a region, passed Measure M, which was supposed to build a bunch of projects, public transit projects before the Olympics. Not all of them, many of them have not been built, but we've made some progress here. And I think the Olympics as an organizing principle for investments is an exciting one that this region did, can do better. But yeah, and I want to make sure that we're using every last dollar to result in lasting impacts.
Okay. You voted no on the host city agreement over taxpayer overrun liability, but then in October 2025, you voted 14-0 with the rest of the council to waive planning, zoning, and environmental review for Olympics construction with no binding anti-displacement protections. What are some of the plans that you have to make sure that homeless people are not being swept ahead of the sporting events? Because we know that this is one of the major things that cities end up doing. The beautification initiatives oftentimes is just to move homeless people around, engage in sweeps and things of that nature.
Send him to Hawaii. Give him a vacation.
That's part of why. That's part of why it's so important to actually build out a real system of homelessness response that's effective. We have to be able to bring more people into shelter and indoors.
By the way, hot take. I think this candidate, she deserves every bad thing about this interview and everything bad thing. DSA endorsed candidate goes on a Hassan stream willingly, does an interview like this, no sympathy. Okay.
And I want to compare, the situation that there is in New York City versus here. Here we have a third of the shelter beds that we need for our total homeless population. New York has 100% of the shelter beds that it needs for its homeless population and has very little unsheltered homelessness as a result. Mm-hmm. Here in LA, 2/3 of our homeless population is on the streets. They're experiencing unsheltered homelessness. We have to do better at getting people indoors in advance of these big events, because we will have a situation where I think there could be real risks, and I want to avoid against that by moving towards an effective system of safety and care that brings people into the shelters that they deserve to be in, that they need to be in.
Okay. I'll give you a softball now. Reality star Spencer Pratt is currently polling around 22%, potentially squeezing you out of a runoff.
Yeah.
He's running as a MAGA Republican in a deep blue city. He has talked
He
about
probably says softball
how much
in
he
his
likes
notes.
ice.
Probably.
He's denied Sandy Hook's existence at some point, I believe. He's praised Alex Jones.
He's appeared on InfoWars multiple times. He also
he's a crystal mommy, which some people are. It is what it is. A lot of those guys have turned into MAGA Republicans for some reason. Aside from lying about where he's
Fossabot just alerted us that JRB8567 gifted 5 subs in Kick Chat. Thanks, buddy.
been living after his house burned down. We found out, shouts out to TMZ, he was living in, Bel Air Hotel, I believe, even though he claimed he was living in an Airstream. Pratt has been pumping out AI slop ads despite LA being the global center of creative media work. What's your plan to protect creative jobs when in Hollywood, when rich dickheads like Spencer Pratt are too eager to automate away all their work with AI?
Well, I think we need to be fighting for Hollywood. We've lost tens of thousands of jobs here in LA over the past few years, and we've been very quiet. The city has been very quiet about watching these jobs walk away, and it's been really, really frustrating. We saw a little expansion of the tax credit from the state level. I think the mayor, if I'm mayor, I'll be the loudest advocate for a tax credit that doesn't have a cap, that ensures that we're accommodating things like above the line costs, that is guaranteed years into the future. Netflix built a studio in New Jersey. They should have built it here. And the tax credit can be the thing that really ensures that we can have that investment happening in LA.
They don't like that.
LA's leadership, our mayor, needs to be the loudest advocate for that. That's what I want to be doing. And we absolutely have to be fighting for that. I think we can also make it easier to shoot here. We can make it easier to make sure that costs are lower here for people who are working here, take away all of our red tape. But we have to be out there fighting for this industry. And I think it's incredibly, incredibly important. I'm also really worried about the potential for job loss from these mergers. We've seen what's happened across different companies that have merged and the numbers of jobs that have gone away. I'm glad to see that the Attorney General is suing this merger. I'm not sure how successful that will be, but I think that kind of proactive pushback against this kind of corporate consolidation is really important. And I have some real concerns about this.
Okay. Now for the elephant in the room, a tough one, but a few weeks ago you posted multiple statements, rightfully acknowledging the Armenian genocide and celebrating the Armenian diaspora in Los Angeles. As you might know, the word genocide was coined by Polish Jewish lawyer Raphael Lemkin in the early 1940s during his studies of the Armenian genocide with the intention of criminalizing it.
Armenian diaspora in L.A. I thought all the Armenians lived up in Glendale. Or is that included in L.A. here? I don't know.
Preventing the ongoing Holocaust from ever happening again. Do you agree with the dozens of human rights organizations, including Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, that Israel has committed a genocide?
Yes or no?
I do, yes.
Okay.
Said that.
That's not enough, though. Hold on.
In your 2020 DFI-LA questionnaire, you said you don't support boycott, divestments, and sanctions, BDS, and that you support Israel's right to exist. Has your stance changed since then? And do you believe Israel has a right to exist in its current form as an ethno-state that's currently being investigated for genocide at the International Court of Justice?
You know, I do believe that Israel has a right to exist. I want to see countries that are operating without apartheid, with equality in their borders. I come from a country, from India, which is now operating through Hindu nationalist principles, and I'm deeply critical of it. And I'm critical of that when it happens everywhere.
Get her out. Get her the fuck out of here.
Do you believe that Israel is an apartheid
You think Israel's a right to exist?
state then?
I think that it is. Yeah, I think that they're not treating people fairly.
That's what apartheid is, when you don't treat people fairly. Yes.
That they're
Thank
treating.
you.
Why
people
should they
Everybody,
exist?
everybody. What, Mooten?
Then why should they exist?
Exactly.
Believe that, and I'm
Ask
critical
her,
of
Hassan.
that.
He's getting there. Don't
but
worry. He's plugged in now.
Locked in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well.
In February 2024, the SALA censured you for accepting the endorsement of Democrats for Israel LA.
Accepted an endorsement?
Opposed a Gaza ceasefire. Knowing what we know now and seeing the videos of Gaza in ruins, do you disagree with that endorsement? Would you still seek it out at this point? Has your attitude shifted, and if so, why?
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't seek it out now, and I've spoken out against the violence in Gaza. I was the co-author of a ceasefire resolution at City Hall. Never was voted on, but I co-authored it. And
What, you think it's a fucking joke for LA
City
to ask a
Council members?
ceasefire for Israel-Palestine?
Jesus Christ,
Are you fucking
man.
crazy, Moot?
put it forward. I was actually the first person to talk about the violence against Palestinians in the building. And I remain deeply, deeply concerned about the violence across the entire region. That being said, I do want to acknowledge that being mayor, my role is not one that has foreign policy, power. It's really one that is about Angelenos and making
passing the
sure
buck,
that Angelenos are safe here, that we're pushing back against anti-Semitism and Islamophobia, both of which have increased in the wake of what's happening. And I think this is the role of the mayor. Was my role as a council member, and one that I'm very focused on. And I want to make sure every person across Los Angeles feels safe expressing their beliefs, feels safe protesting, and something that I will continue to focus on if I'm mayor.
Yeah. The reason why I'm asking this question
It's
is
because-
because you're right.
I'm obsessed.
There are people who like Israel living in Los Angeles. There are people who don't like Israel living in Los Angeles. The overwhelming majority at this point, I believe,
Overwhelming.
especially
Hate
on the
them.
Democratic Party side, is totally
Hate.
on the side of the Palestinians, as polls show over and over again. But local politicians, yourself included, do have a tremendous amount of power in terms of what kind of activism is allowed on U.S. soil in Los Angeles and what kind of activism is not allowed. The reason why I say this is because, and this is, I'm sure you know, there was the DSA open letter. You co-authored a city resolution that made anti-Palestinian LA United School District resolution a city council priority and was used to shut down the United Teachers Union of Los Angeles's members' historic BDS resolution vote as a result of a smear campaign. What do you have to say about that characterization?
Wait, I wonder if he actually queried an AI, or if somebody did write the question. I wonder which one it is.
Is there, like, has there been some change in your analysis of the situation? Do you feel like those decisions in the past might have been wrong? What was guiding your framework at the time, and what has changed is what I'm trying to arrive at.
Yeah, I think I have become more aware of.
If I tell us a DSA LA gave him these questions, oh maybe. At the beginning, he asked someone to send him a doc. Maybe it was a DSA LA that asked Anya.
Of these issues over my time on city council. This wasn't where I had organized before. My organizing background was really around housing and homelessness issues. That's how I came to the DSA originally. I liked Bernie Sanders, and they were the only organization locally talking about renters' rights. Mm-hmm. And I appreciated that. And that's why I got engaged on this issue. And, I think my work on the city council has changed, especially after we've seen the horrors in Gaza. And, I feel like I know.
Distance from LA to Gaza. Why would you draw this as like a fucking arc instead of a straight line? Well, you're going to make it artificially longer if you're not willing to.
Idiot.
What the fuck? Okay.
More, although I will confess this is still not my area of expertise. I'm still really focused on the issues facing Los Angeles, and we'll continue doing that.
Okay. Well, the reason why a lot of people, myself included, see this as a important moral test is for the obvious reasons. Some of the reasons that you also acknowledge, but the other reason is because it's a pretty reliable litmus test to try to figure out if politicians and people who are seeking out positions of governance are responsive to the needs of the masses, especially considering that this is now the Democratic Party's overwhelming majority position, rather than beholden to corporate interests. This is the reason why it's like a very effective litmus test, and that's the reason why I'm asking you about it. And like the honest transformation that may have taken place in your worldview, so it doesn't come across as simply someone like, for example, Scott Wiener, who very actively pushed for a lot of pro-Israel provisions, and then now is trying to claim that he actually recognizes that there is a genocide that has taken place because he has a congressional seat that he's trying to win.
True.
At a time when everyone is on board. So if there has been a difference in opinion or a change in your mentality, what has been some of the things that you saw that made you reconsider your previous position?
I spoke out about this issue in the ceasefire resolution and in city council because I saw the violence in Gaza and was moved
in Gaza. She's not even saying it right. She's fake.
I think that a lot of people across the country have had that same evolution, and it is, has been one of the biggest issues animating this country, especially in the last election. And I think I've moved with the people.
Okay.
I've learned more.
Do you?
And I'm committed to learning more as well, while also acknowledging again that the mayor's seat is not primarily one that is focused on foreign policy issues, and I think
No, of course not.
it is really a place where people are looking to the mayor's office to ensure that we have a safe city for everyone. And to ensure that their ability to speak out about these issues and to work on and to protest, for example, the rights of protesters are really important, and we have to make sure that LAPD is responding in better ways to these kinds of protests. People have to be able to exercise their First Amendment rights, and I think these are the kinds of things that these are the kinds of places where I think it's important, and these are places where I have spoken out in the past as well. When there was, I think, a lot of...
What? That's not what I heard.
Violence in UCLA, I called for an investigation into what had LAPD done in that, in response to that protest encampment. And, I think these are places where I have pushed back really on these questions already, and places that I would continue to think about where the city can do better going forward.
Okay. Question about where the city can do better. In June 2024, you co-introduced legislation calling for an immediate and permanent ceasefire and the immediate and unconditional return of all hostages. In the same month, Karen Bass and Joe Biden condemned local protests against stolen Palestinian land sales taking place in the Adas Torah synagogue. How do you view the connection between these two actions, and will you vow to end the illegal sale of stolen West Bank land in Los Angeles as a practice that is also...
You know what's really awkward is the fact that she's sitting next to him.
Oh yeah, and he's just staring at chat.
Well, not just that, but like she's watching him read the questions off the Google Doc. So like she's just looking at him, and then she can look at the computer, and she sees on the computer where he's just reading the questions. That's got to be like the most autistic interview setup in the universe.
Taking place in New York as well. It's a big point of contention. A lot of people, including Zoran, at certain times has fallen short of abiding by what he had previously said he would do. What is your view on this? Like protesting outside of a synagogue is oftentimes the only thing that the media covers, when in fact what's taking place inside of the synagogues, places of houses of worship, not always, of course, but whenever there is a protest, it's usually because of these settler fairs that are taking place, which are illegal. Is there anything that you plan on doing about this at all? Do you have an opinion on these land sales that are taking place, settler fairs that are taking place inside of synagogues?
I mean, look, the what is happening in the West Bank and what's happening with illegal settlements there is deeply troubling. I will confess that I don't know that much about this particular issue, so I don't want to make a commitment to something that I'll do as mayor that I don't know that much about. That being said, and as I said in that article, I really value the ability of people to exercise their First Amendment rights here in the city of Los Angeles.
True.
And I want to make sure that religious institutions and people in them feel safe, while also honoring our First Amendment right to protest.
True.
That's going to be a difficult thing to balance in a very, very troubled time here in Los Angeles. What I make a commitment to doing for everyone in this city is to ensuring that I'm willing to engage with all of our partners,
including the Jews.
To ensure that we are moving forward while
Seriously?
guaranteeing both of these things. And I think it's possible to do that, but it requires deep engagement. It requires work. I've always been willing to do the work, and I'm committed to doing that going forward as well.
Okay.
Well, next question.
All right, sure.
Read the next one,
I'll
son.
just move on from that then.
I'll just move on from that then.
And I'm committed to doing that going forward as well.
Okay. All right, sure. Let's. I'll just move on from that then.
If you want the number one fucking life hack to fucking riz some hoe up or to do a fucking anything in your fucking life, just to have a genuine interest in what the other person is saying, you can even demonstrate this by, if somebody's in the middle of talking about something and then like a server interrupts you at dinner, or if you get a phone call or some bullshit or something happens or whatever, and you have to cut the conversation, if you come back, the default assumption from every single human being is that you guys are just going to chat about whatever, okay? You will score so many brownie points if you can tell a person after the interruption or whatever, you're like, okay, wait, so you were talking about blah, 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 so then what happened next or whatever. If you can do that, you're guaranteed to be their best friend, their fuck buddy for life, their new foster parent, their new boss or employee. If you can show genuine interest when people are saying, remember what they're saying, and then even if you get like interrupted, you can come back to the conversation and like restart it from where they left off. It is the best possible thing you can do to show interest. It's just funny to, not that he's trying to date this woman or anything, but it's just, I mean, even for an interview, you should be able to engage at least a little bit on some of the substance of the answers that they give. The fact that he's just incapable of engaging on anything at all is just crazy to me.
There's a lot of, like, Israel's a foreign country. However, there are...
We're right back on it, huh?
Well, what's interesting in a non-foreign country? Are there domestic countries that we need? Sorry.
A lot of connections with local governance, a lot more than many Americans are comfortable with, a lot more than many Americans are aware of. One example is that the Los Angeles Police Department does train with Israeli counterterrorism experts.
Can we get them to train with Hamas instead?
This is a practice that was a post 9/11 practice that has played a major role in some of the practices that LAPD, alongside numerous other local law enforcement organizations, utilize, like the kettling and corralling practice that many protesters have often criticized. While some of the cost of this counterterrorism expertise is covered by outside orgs, do you believe that our police force should be using our taxpayer dollars to go train in a country that's actively committing an internationally recognized genocide by the very same forces that are committing said genocide?
You know, I would say
Yes or
here
no?
that I don't think LAPD should be training in ways that that are like those of on a war
Occupying forces.
in military
Yeah.
terms. You know, that troubles me, and I think we shouldn't be treating this city as if it's our enemy. That's not what LAPD needs to be doing. And so...
bad answer. Oh, she pivoted to the BLM talking points of not having a militarized police department. Hassan is on the updated Marxist-Leninist talking points of Israel is an evil nation and our military shouldn't be training, or our police department shouldn't be training with anything having to do with Israel or Jews. Oh, not good.
The commitment that I make today and always is really to ensure that LAPD is receiving training to be able to keep people safe. And, you know, making sure that we're not militarizing our police force, I think is really important. We are not at a war with our people. We are here to keep the residents of Los Angeles safe. And I want to make sure that we're training people accordingly.
So do you oppose that private grants and donations would still send police to train in Israel? Or is that something that is outside of your purview as mayor?
It is a little bit outside of my purview as mayor, but again, I would be pushing for better responses here that ensure that LAPD's training is appropriate for what their job is here in LA, which is the safety of Angelenos, guaranteeing the safety of Angelenos, responding to people who are dealing with situations. That's the kind of training that they need.
Okay. Last but not least,
Yes.
you jumped in this race at the very last second, right before the registration deadline. I believe it was a week after I had done something with Ray Huang as well, who's another DSA member who's running for mayor as well. She's polling at 3% or 4%. But you've previously endorsed Karen Bass.
What?
Who's someone who's referred to you as an ally.
Uh-oh.
What are the decisions that led you to run for mayor as opposed to retaining your seat or fighting for it?
Yeah, you know, I'm upset right now with the state of Los Angeles, and I feel like our mayor has made decisions that have betrayed working class Angelenos over and over again. in return for political donations that are now funding her campaign, whether it's on the bloated police contract, which now the police union is funding millions of dollars, over $1 million against me in this race to make sure I don't make it into the runoff.
Wow.
Whether it is expanding our kind of use of Airbnb here, taking away from our housing stock, which is also now donating to her campaign, or whether it's investing in things like our, $3 billion convention center expansion, in return for support from downtown business interests who are now funding her campaign. All of these have taken away from our capacity to be able to provide basic services here in Los Angeles for working people here in the city. And someone who is a representative of LA, who is here because I want to fight for people in Los Angeles, watching that happen has been really, really frustrating. And the only credible opposition that she had in this mayoral race was Spencer Pratt, a MAGA Republican who, believes 9/11 is an inside job. And what is scary about this individual is that, I think that at a time when people have lost trust and faith in local city government, that kind of energy, that kind of negativity, that kind of rhetoric can have real purchase here in LA. I think that's bad for LA. I think we deserve a better option. Let's have a real conversation about how Los Angeles can get better. And I want to be a mayor that builds a better city. I know, look, I am not here in this seat running for mayor who is going to have 100% agreement from every kind of uber left person here in the city of Los Angeles.
Oh,
big mistake, lady.
Oh, what?
I know that I've been criticized plenty, but I've also brought about, through the work that I've done on the Housing and Homelessness Committee, some of the biggest material improvements for people who live in the city, who are being priced out of the city, who can't afford to live in the city. And I've been laser focused on making those improvements time and time again. That's the pitch that I'm making to the city as I'm campaigning for mayor is, can we build a city that works better for the people?
Yeah.
Can we build a city that's not focused on...
Because y'all love...
Oh my God, I just clicked forward. Whoops, hold on. What was the time?
You jumped in this race.
Out of the city, who can't afford to live in the city. And I've been laser focused on making those improvements time and time again. That's the pitch that I'm making to the city as I'm campaigning for mayor is the work ethic to get it done. You don't have to agree with me on every single thing that I've done on city council or every single position I've taken. You don't have to agree with me that I'm in the exact right position for all of your issues. But I do think that the vision of Los Angeles that I have, which is more hopeful, more just, more fair, that is a vision that I think a lot of people can get behind and should get behind. Otherwise, we have a very bleak future ahead.
Wow.
Do you think that's why in October 2022, Nuri Martinez, Kevin De Leon, Ron Herrera, and Gil Cedillo were caught on tape plotting to gerrymander you out of office because you had organized renters and homeless people? You demanded resignations. What in your platform breaks it and brings about transformational change for the city's politics as opposed to everyone else?
Sorry, I didn't.
I said about transformation you out of office because you had organized renters and homeless people. You demanded resignations. What in your platform breaks it and brings about transformational change for the city's politics?
Okay.
As opposed to everyone else.
Sorry, I didn't.
I said, what in your platform actually breaks from the norms?
Yeah,
and brings about transformational change?
Here's the thing: that process.
Wait, did he print out these questions? Is he looking from a piece of paper? That's what it looks like. He's shuffling on them.
It breaks from the norms.
Yeah,
and brings about transformational change.
Here's the thing: that process, that conversation that they had behind closed doors, was about redrawing the lines to benefit themselves. It was about personal political gain. And I put independent redistricting on the ballot, and Angelinos passed it and stood up against corruption as a whole. And now the city is better off for it. And my platform is full of exactly these kinds of changes, ways in which we can reorient the city away from the police union lobby, the landlord lobby, the Airbnb lobby, and really make it a place that's working for people. And I think that that is the goal of this work. That is what I want to be doing.
Okay. Rapid fire. Last question I have for you.
Rapid fire
round is: do you support Medicare for all?
Yes.
Wow.
Universal child care.
Yes.
Abolishing ICE.
Yes. Wow.
Raise taxes on billionaires.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes.
End encampment sweeps in LA.
Yes.
Well, I think we.
Oh, gotcha.
Depends on your definition of sweeps.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we'd
what do
have to be able to do cleanups. We do them humanely.
Cleanups?
We do it with outreach workers. It's very similar to what Mamdani had touted in his change. I don't think we should be violent. I don't think we should be arresting people, but cleaning up and making sure that we offer hygiene is really important.
Okay.
And I'll stand by that.
$30 citywide minimum wage.
Oh, interesting. I supported the tourism worker wage. Yeah.
Okay. And LAPD's pay trips to Israel.
If not on our dime.
Okay. A free Palestine.
Free Palestine, yes.
Okay. If you like what people heard about you today, how can people get involved with the campaign? What can they do? What are some areas of needs for you right now?
Sheesh. Top Gun. Oh, they're hugging. How cute. AI. Most obvious AI I've ever seen in my life.
Free Palestine, yes or no?
Yes.
That's the
No.
Oh.
Palestine doesn't need to be free. It needs to take over Israel.
allegations. What, bro? What? Destiny saying that. So what are people saying? They're saying that I slept with a girl 3 years ago. Is that these are the?
I haven't said anything about this in like years. I don't even know why the fuck any of these clips are even resurfacing or what any of this has to even fucking do with anything. Okay.
This was a civil war in miniature.
Matt Walsh is fucking retarded. Oh my god. It's going viral because of Lauren De Laguna drama with her. Yeah. Lauren and Amy broke up as best friends a few months ago. I feel like I've talked about this, haven't I? She's my source of information for so much good shit. Like how Lauren pushed Pixie to start the lawsuit and was like basically the sole driver behind all of that. Yeah, Lauren is fucking insane. Lauren is crazy. Yeah, I've been talking to Amy quite a bit. Oh, did I not? I feel like I mentioned this. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, Lauren is fucking insane. I mean, how much? I can't even get into all of the crazy shit. A decent amount. Sorry, real quick. This is a meme that gets spread all the time. It's just not true. It's some shit that guys who don't care about having good sex say, or just random memes. Crazy girls are not the best people to have sex with, okay? That's not even true, okay? That's a meme. Did Lauren give some firehead or whatever? No. Crazy people don't have good sex. They're just crazy. That's it. That's not true, okay? There's more truth to fat people, okay, performing better than fucking crazy people. But Lauren Lauren De Laguna will obsessively stalk and try to life destroy any fucking person that she's ever had a negative experience with in her entire life. She's fucking insane. Like the most insane person ever. I don't even know what led to the split between Amy and Lauren, but like Lauren will call and just leave voicemails to Amy about how much she fucking hates this woman and shit for no fucking reason. Like,
your life falling apart has been the highlight of my year. Oh my God. And I have a lot of good things going for me this year, like my law firm being so successful, but honestly, cherry on the cake. Thank you so much for sucking.
Like, this is not a healthy person. This person is fucking insane.
You can fix her, Steven.
Yeah. This, I don't know if she's deleted anything on here yet. Like, this girl will create, like, alternative Reddit accounts and shit, or alternative Twitter accounts to go and fucking stalk people. But, this is a Lauren De Laguna Twitter account that she uses to just, like, reply guy to Amy shit, saying she wish she would die.
It's crazy how many people are making, like, alternative accounts to go on to, like, I don't know, either your Reddit or on Twitter and shit. I've literally never done this.
I know. I don't know where they have so much time. I don't know how they have the time to do this shit. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, no, these people are fucking crazy. Pixie and Lauren and like I don't get it. I don't know. I have no idea. How does she have the time for all of this? Because it's rich girls or rich people, I guess. It's not guys usually. It has to be women, because usually when guys start fucking around like this, they start killing people and they go to jail. But like, it's girls from rich families that don't have to do anything real to survive in life. That's it. So like Pixie and Lauren can basically LARP all these different lifestyles. I think Lauren wanted to LARP as a math tutor. Then she wanted to LARP as a lawyer. She wanted to LARP as an influencer during her Red Pill arc. Now she's LARPing as whatever. And their mommy and daddy will always pay for their entire life through all of it. Same thing with Pixie. She wanted to LARP with something. And then, I don't know, she LARPs her way through 3 different fucking undergrads. Then she wanted to LARP as like an influencer. Then she wanted to, now she's trying to go to like law school to be a lawyer. Like their mommy and daddy will just pay for every single fucking thing that they can, because that's all they have, is they've got the infinite bank of mom and dad, so they can LARP through whatever part of their fucking life they want to, on their parents' dime. It's fucking crazy to me. Didn't she explain the split on that Beardson guy's show? I don't know. I didn't even watch this. I just heard that she did one, but...
Got married, and as soon as they got engaged, she no longer financially needed me, because Daniel's like, oh, I got you for everything.
Just remember that like 90% of what Lauren De Laguna says is bullshit. She will lie about almost anything once she's decided she doesn't like a person. When she loves a person, she is legitimately, and I can see this through all the discovery that she's given me for the people you can trace the paths of. This is schizo shit. But you can see like Lauren unironically does like the love bombing stuff when she is on your team. Like for Pixie, she's like messaging all of her friends like, hey, like I want to bring my friend onto this podcast. She's super cool. Like, hey, is there anything you can do for Pixie? I love her so much. She's my best friend in the world. Like when she is like on your team, she's doing every fucking thing she can to like gas this person up and get everybody to do things for them and do whatever the fuck she can to make this person's life better. But then when she's against you, she will go through every part of your life that she can. And the problem is that she's a woman who's willing to fuck anybody to get her way. And I don't mean this in like in just like a normal like hate women thing, but I mean like she will weaponize her vagina to get into any guy that she needs to start to twist, and then she has so much free time that she will twist and twist and twist and twist and twist to get these groups of people to fucking hate whoever her current op is. I didn't realize how deep it all ran in the past, but especially now when I back up and I look and I see how like connected everything is, like that fucking retard Irrelevant is literally getting his mind fucked by Jazmen Jafar, who was literally a close fucking friend of Lauren De Laguna. I didn't realize that Irrelevant was simping for this fucking dipshit for 2 years, right? When he said I need to go to jail for sex crimes or whatever. 100% this dipshit got this from Jasmine's tits, okay? That was also coming from Lauren De Laguna. Like, I mean, I have, like, texts, obviously, when Lauren was trying to turn me and Jazmen against each other, and then me and Amy against each other, because when Lauren was still friends with Amy, she was trying to, yeah, it's just so much. But it's like, it's the fact that Lauren has so much time that she can do this in the background constantly, okay? With everybody. So much time. It's so much time. And then she's willing to fuck guys. So guys will, like, at least, like, hear her out because, you know, they'll sleep with her. And, yeah, she just, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Destiny shows some of those DMs. Which DMs?
I believe in like the masculine.
It's also fucking annoying. I wanted to press ChudLogic on this more because it's just so fucking annoying. I'm doing this now. I need to ask questions. I'm sticking up for myself way more, okay? Lauren to Amy pitting her against you. Well, I feel like I went over this drama a long time ago. This will all be part of the manifesto where I will bring all of it together because it's just so much. But once it's all laid out, it's like so much more obvious. But
the final manifesto.
It's hopefully Jesus. Fuck, how was it really this many? Was it 3 years ago? There's no way, right?
Was what?
Amy messaged me some night because she said that Lauren was trying to convince Jazmen and Farha that I was like leaking personal information about Amy because Lauren was trying to make all these people hate me. It was after I shut down Lauren. When did Lauren ask me out? When did I break up with Melina? December 2023, my chat says. Okay, let's go to that.
Farha Fridays. What happened to Farha?
She was just friends with that group of people.
Or?
We have an understanding, okay? But I don't have I just don't have the time. So as soon as oh, hey Steven, super random, but do you by chance have a few minutes free to chat tonight or this week? There's something I wanted to ask you about, easier on the phone or in person. And then
So I am way too busy to really be.
Okay, I don't want to I guess leak Amy's person, but more or less it's just Amy asking me Amy is basically saying that Lauren is telling Jazmen that you are leaking a bunch of crazy personal details about some old sexual encounters or whatever that I had. And I was like, no, I think I probably did talk to Farha about this a year earlier, but I didn't even know Amy personally, when I had spoken about this. But the way that Jazmen was phrasing things, Jazmen was making it sound like I was currently leaking things to people, which was retarded as fuck. Yeah.
You were in the most high school drama.
No, yeah, it was so. But this is why I cut off Farah on everybody, because the second time she came to my apartment when we had a big argument, this was halfway through the argument. I started checking my logs. I'm like, bro, none of what you're saying is true. I don't know why Lauren is even telling you this shit. But the more annoying thing is, I don't know why you believe her on any of this, because Lauren's not giving you evidence for any of the things that she's claiming about me. And when I go and I read the logs, everything is the exact fucking opposite. So I don't know. It's just annoying. But yeah. So yeah, it's crazy to me. Yeah. I wish I would have known more how connected all these disloyal simp fucks were. If I would have known that Irrelevant was a pathetic simp fuck for Jazmen, or if I would have known that Jizztickler had been secretly dating Cherry, or if I would have known that ABBA was fucking and romantically enticed by fucking Lauren De Laguna, or if I would have known that Amy and Lauren were friends behind the scene and Lauren was begging Amy to make the fucking video about me that she did, or if I would have known that all of these connections existed, then things would have made so much more sense when stuff was breaking, where it's holy shit, I guess my entire friend group and everything else literally thinks I'm a fucking demon. But then I realized that, oh, it's just the DGG sex cult. I just was never invited to it, I guess. Yeah, but Jesus Christ.
Shit was fucking crazy, huh?
Yeah. Apparently, yeah, I don't know. What is this?
I believe in taking care of your woman. I believe that a woman should never have to pay, and yada yada. So I was like, okay, dope, whatever. So you know Pixie. I don't know if you know Pixie. So it was Pixie's birthday.
Lauren, I think, is still obsessed with Pixie, and Pixie is still too much of a weak, spineless fuck to ever have a thought or original idea of her own. So she's constantly controlled by the people around her. And I think Lauren has her claws sunk so much into Pixie, and yeah, Pixie's just not an independent human being. So I think she still super stands Pixie.
So we all go out for Pixie's birthday, and we're at like this nice, like fine Italian restaurant.
Well, at this point, I don't think she can go against Lauren. I would assume Lauren has like some life-ending shit on fucking Pixie.
Well, I know for a fact that Lauren and Pixie have done mega illegal shit in terms of conspiring on our court case. Well, I say mega illegal.
They're Bonnie and Clyde together
1
now.
trillion%, yeah. Hold on. This is the Italian dinner where, I don't know if she'll mention me, but this is the dinner where I think Lauren claims that, is this the one where I forced her to pay for the birthday dinner, for her own birthday dinner or whatever? It was like, this is like the weirdest accusation of me, because I always pay for meals when I go out with people. I always pay, just because I have so much money. I was like, why not? I'll cover the meal. And I was like, yeah, Steven made me pay for my entire birthday dinner that they hosted for me something. Unless it's a different dinner. I don't know. This is fucking retarded.
Yada. So I was like, okay, dope, whatever. So, you know Pixie. I don't know if you know Pixie. So it was Pixie's birthday. So we all go out for Pixie's birthday, and we're at like this nice, like fine Italian restaurant because her wife is Italian. And her wife is also like...
Wait, her wife?
Yeah, Pixie's wife.
I don't know.
Like,
I'm not familiar with Pixie.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Pixie's
yeah, that is true. I should have made all these motherfuckers pay for shit. I didn't know that they were all from fucking rich-ass, spoiled fuck families.
With Destiny.
Oh, she's one of those. Okay.
Pixie's in like a lawsuit with Destiny.
Oh, she's one of those. Okay. Yeah. That would make sense now. The her wife thing makes sense now, yeah.
Yeah, but her wife has like a great taste in restaurants. So we always go to like, and she's always like a club member. So we get like discounts and we get like private rooms and stuff like that. So we were going out to a restaurant, and this is the first time Daniel was supposed to pay for Amy's portion. Like, I'm no longer liable for Amy's portion. I'm relieved of duty. I am off the clock. She now has a fiance, right? Mm-hmm. So this bitch gets 4 drinks at $25 a pop because she's a fucking alcoholic and she can't fucking stop herself. Plus, she eats dinner. But she says that she's a vegan, but she still eats meat and cheese, so she's not really a vegan. And Daniel says that he's gluten intolerant, but he still ate. So both of them ate, both of them drank. And so we're driving home, and I'm like, hey, I paid the tab. Pixie already paid me, or Pixie doesn't have to pay because it's her birthday. Mm-hmm. Virginia already paid me. Anna already paid me. Like, your turn, Daniel, to pay you and Amy. And
like, who has the also Lauren's 1,000,000,000% lying about any law firm shit. She worked as a public defender in Miami for 1 month and got fired, and then tried to blame it on anti-Semitism from her employer. And now she's in Texas, and she claims to have all these clients from Florida that she represents. She's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. She's not even licensed to practice in Texas. It's all a fucking lie. It's all a fucking lie.
She was like, okay, I got this. And he slides me a $100 bill. I'm like, sir, you're joking, right? Like, each of you were $200. Easy. And then they just refused to pay and basically called me a Jew, and then took over the apartment that I paid for, and like wouldn't let me in the living room until I moved out. And then I moved all my shit out, and I moved to Texas. And then I was like, fuck that bitch. She stole a bunch of stuff from me. She was supposed to deliver some of my stuff. She just threw it out.
That's a move Steve and I would have done on Dan, actually.
True. I don't know how you bring this shit up in farm chat. All I think of is how they were acting last January and February, sucking Irrelevant off because he was speaking out against you, etc. I'm purpose unlike by how fucking people are. The problem is that like men are just simp fucks, but it's also probably just because a lot of them are fucking losers and they don't ever get any fucking women. So as soon as one gives them some attention, they turn into a simp fuck, and they immediately have to stand every single fucking thing that they say, because if they don't, they will I don't know, they're worried the woman will leave them or some bullshit. I don't know. I hate men. I hate all these motherfuckers so much. I hate every motherfucking piece of shit involved in this fucking drama, dude. Oh my God.
Camera.
Except there has only been one real ass. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And it's fucking Darius. My king, okay? My king. God damn. God damn.
I had a chessboard that I couldn't take with me. It was like an electronic chessboard where the pieces move on their own so you could play people across the world. She threw that out. She threw out like all the possessions she was supposed to send me.
Jazmen is the average woman. She's in the top 1% in the tits department and top 1% sugar mama. I mean, she's smart. She has a lot of fucking boob, yeah, and she probably makes a lot of money on OnlyFans. She's also addicted to fucking meth. So, I mean, like, whatever, you know, hey, listen, everybody does their own thing, okay?
Even though
the only time I'm very stringent about my Vyvanse, okay? Because I need my Vyvanse to survive. I remember when we were at one of the canvassing things. It might have been the only one that she went to. She was like, oh shit, like I want to try some or whatever. This motherfucker eats 360 milligrams of Vyvanse in order for her to have a whatever fucking day. This chick is strung the fuck out, addicted, okay? We have massive, these people are all fucking crazy. I hate all these motherfuckers. I hate all these. Also, I'm pretty sure, didn't I show the DMs on stream? It was a text message between me and Jazmen. We were both kind of talking about how kind of like sad and pathetic Lauren De Laguna was because Lauren was like crying to, I guess Jazmen was already twisting Irrelevant's weak fucking loser mind at that canvassing event. I guess I didn't put it together as much because I had suspicions. I just didn't know. But Jazmen and Irrelevant were hanging out a lot, and then Lauren was crying to Jazmen and Irrelevant about how like I wouldn't date her, but I was still like so nice to whatever and blah blah blah. I hate all these motherfuckers.
Throughout like all the possessions she was supposed to send me, even though I helped.
They were very chummy during the canvassing event. I'm pretty sure they were staying together. I can't prove it, but I do know that they were Ubering together all the time and everything. That's how Lauren was sharing an Uber with them, is because yeah, but whatever.
She threw that out. She threw out like all the possessions she was supposed to send me, even though I helped her move 3 times.
Wow.
3 times.
3 times.
Because of the apartment she got the eviction from, the apartment in between, into my apartment. So 3 times I helped that bitch move. And never once did she do anything. Okay, so that's why I'm pissed at her. And then I found out she replaced me at.
You never showed DMs, but you talked about how Lauren walked into. I feel like I did. I must have. The text messages between me and Jazmen.
Who was Jazmen?
Jazmen Jafar. She's a huge, big titty person. By the way, this girl was at my apartment multiple times. I think I drove her to and from someplace or the airport or something. I don't remember, for our debate in Santa Clara in the whatever show. I've hung out with her, text her a bit. Not a single time in my entire life have I ever hit on her, made a move, made a sexual comment, tried to do anything weird ever. Oh, I remember thinking of this. I was going to bring this up with for ChudLogic. When I was talking to ChudLogic, I didn't get to that. Chud said this thing on stream, and I understand why, because Jizztickler and all these people have all mind-fucked themselves into believing this insane shit, where they were like, you've been pumping me full of DGG narratives and forcing me to, like, spin your lies forever. And it's like, Chud, I have never said or done anything mean about you or rude, like, towards you for, like, the past 3 or 4 years. The only thing I've said about you have generally been polite. What the fuck are you talking about? Where the fuck do you guys get these ideas from? Because they're spun from narratives that mean, that are spun from nothing. Like, it's literally spun from nothing. Like,
well, the thing is they sit in a circle off stream, talk bad about you, even if it's not like.
And then they convince themselves that it's like true, but then they get like this amplification thing going on where it's like, yeah, and then and it's like, hold on. Like, if I could get any of these people on stream, Jizztickler, ChudLogic, any of these people, like, hold on, whoa. What is a single false narrative that you think I've pumped full of, like, that I've pumped anybody full of any? Like, they wouldn't be able to name a single thing. Or what is a single leak? Is there one leak anywhere ever? A single time ever of me talking to anybody where I'm like, all right, guys, we got to try and lie about this. We got to sell this. Like, in the history of all of my shit, I probably had more fucking DMs leaked than any of these motherfuckers on the planet. It has never, ever, ever happened. I'm never doing this. But these guys have so much time to do this. They have so much time. I don't know what these people do with their free time, or this is all their free time. How do they have the time to make up all these crazy stories in the background about me or anybody else? And to oh my God, it's crazy to me, dude. It's insane to me. I don't understand. Then meanwhile, on their side, you can find so many examples of them doing crazy shit like this. What the fuck? Where they're all scheming and plotting and lying and doxing and all these crazy things that they're saying. And it's like, what the fuck?
As the maid of honor with Elizabeth Moody. I'm not mad that you're friends with a Nazi. Go off, queen, be friends with a Nazi. But you're gonna replace me as your maid of honor, like a Jewish woman, with a Nazi? I think that's a little extreme. That's where I'm upset.
That's crazy.
Okay.
What a bitch. How dare she, dude?
Wow. But this is One of the reasons why Amy reached out to me is because this is what Lauren has been doing since her and Amy, quote unquote, broke up like a few months ago. Now Lauren has been sucking and fucking the entire Austin comedy scene and everybody that she can get her tits or her pussy around down there, or that will listen to her speak, in order to get all of them to fucking hate Amy because she's her new #1 op right now. I don't even know why. I don't even know. I don't know what actually happened.
That's crazy.
Thank you.
No,
So that's my 2 cents. And then also she just like, she's saying that I'm crazy.
You're gonna see
and,
Lauren
like,
on Rogan.
True. The best moment was Queeman having to admit that he said you doxed Anne of War just by linking her Kiwi Farms in DGG, but him doing it to you isn't somehow. Yeah, I know, because all these guys are retarded. Also, keep in mind, Queeman and all these guys have been building resentment towards me and like creating these weird fanfics about me for years. You would imagine that like if they could come into a chat with me, that they'd be ready to just unload, like, here's the 400 horrible, evil things that you've done, Destiny, answer for them. But they have nothing. All Queeman could do is sit there and spam racial slurs at me or whatever and complain, which, by the way, you should fucking spam report the fuck out of any of their kick streams or whatever the fuck else. The fact that I'm sitting there in ChudLogic stream, and I think Queeman called me a spick on stream. I think he literally was calling me
Gusano a few times.
Yeah, you're just like spamming racial slurs and shit at me because, by the way, all these guys from the background of their channels are always spam reporting all of my shit and coordinating spam reporting all of my shit, 100%, which, by the way, I didn't even leak anything about anybody in particular doing that, but Jizztickler himself admitted to it. He actually said it on stream. Yeah, I did tell everybody to go report that season. I did post that in that weirdo fucking Discord. I did tell everybody to go and spam report his stuff because he was harassing us. Get the fuck out of here.
Whatever. But like, all of my friends are still my friends.
Lauren has the most tumultuous friend group shit in the universe. It's crazy. Wasn't Shkreli Lauren's obsession for a while before meeting you too? I remember him explicitly describing her as a crazy, obsessive bitch. I didn't remember him saying that, but yeah, that wouldn't surprise me because because remember that one Reddit thread that was a secret Reddit account that Lauren had made just to attack Martin Shkreli on. I do think that also, by the way, I do think that Lauren made that post on Kiwi Farms. I don't have like great evidence of it. Beyond what I posted, but I do think she's the one who made that. The one that Pixie screenshotted like 2 hours after the post and then messaged me and was like, "Are you sure?"
Thank you.
Did Amy put on the video she made about you? I believe she did, yeah.
So that's my 2 cents. And then also she just like, she's saying that I'm crazy and like facts, whatever. But like, all of my friends are still my friends. All of my friends from 2020, like all of our streaming friends, we're still together. We're still the same group. Nothing happened.
From when?
She just like,
wait, from what year?
Thank you. So that's my 2 cents. And then also she just like, she's saying that I'm crazy and like facts, whatever. But like, all of my friends are still my friends. All of my friends from 2020, like.
From 2020? No. She has moved through so many friend groups. It's crazy.
All of our streaming friends, we're still together. We're still the same group. Nothing happened. Luke, Ian, they come visit me.
Luke and Ian Crossland and Luke Rudowski or whatever are two guys that she has fucked a lot. They are two guys that she reached out to make videos and correct the record about my stuff. I know this because I have her text to them. So yes, men she is kind of sort of able to keep a hold on to as long as they're willing to keep fucking her, basically. Yes. I'm pretty sure she actually was at a fucking, it was like a MAGA or a TPUSA event with, I think it was with Luke a few years ago. And I remember her complaining about Ian Crossland because Lauren De Laguna, for all of her faults, she's pretty smart. I remember that Lauren is has a pure math degree, so she knows her math, was in a car with Ian Crossland. And I remember Lauren was complaining because she was like, Ian was telling me that limits aren't real. And then the reason why limits aren't real in math was some retarded shit. And then she was just complaining about how fucking retarded this guy was. But obviously she doesn't give a fuck as long as she can still manipulate a person and as long as they're connected to somebody, like she will spin and spin and spin and play and play and play. And it's just like fucking, yeah, Jesus Christ, bro.
When they're in Austin, Pixie, Virginia, like all of us are still, they're the two that went off the rails. You know, and we're a group of conservatives and liberals, extreme conservatives. We have people who love Nick Fuentes. We have people who hate Nick Fuentes. We have all extremes in our group of friends. It's never been an issue, but they went off the fucking rails and like became Nazis in my fucking opinion. And I don't think, like, for instance, You know, Luke and Ian, they're pretty conservative.
What I hope my like one of my big side things for the upcoming manifesto is that I think that this reputation, I think Lauren is able to launder her reputation because she's never just been as popular online, but there has to be like a huge public like specter that follows her around so that people know what they're getting into for her. And then for Pixie, it just can't be that these people can drift from group to group, being the most destructive, cataclysmic, apocalyptic people ever, with nobody having any fucking idea about like the trail that they leave behind them. But it's just because they never got quite popular enough for people to realize like how fucking crazy they are. So they're able to just like fuck their way into a new group, and then like everything is like chill and cool, you know? Like the fact that, again, like just seeing how, bro, my mind has gotten destroyed just seeing how connected. I brought up the Irrelevant. Somebody posted, was it like 2 years ago, where he's like in South America with fucking Jazmen, or with Jizztickler secretly fucking, or I guess like abducting and abusing Cherry and everything else, where fucking, I don't even remember what the other thing was. Oh, but finding out that like, so like some of the weird anti-fans that I have, like, why does fucking Wicked Supreme talk about me so weirdly, in Jessica's server? Oh, because Pixie and him were fucking. Oh, okay. Or like I've lost, all my connection with Lonerbox. Why? Oh, because Pixie was fucking Lonerbox and also didn't tell him about any other guys that she was fucking. And it's just like, everything is just like, fuck! It drives me fucking
so
crazy.
She just like cheating on Lonerbox then, or
I don't know. I don't know what anything. I don't know the details of the reality show. I'm just saying that like it's just like it's all so connected in such an annoying fucking way, and it just drives me fucking crazy. God damn it. Okay, that's okay.
They're like the Tim pool. Like they came over to Austin recently.
The Lonerbox know she was married? Who knows? Apparently Pixie in her deposition said she didn't even know where the fuck her wife got her green card from, so who the fuck knows?
Tim pool. They came over to Austin recently. We all had a great time. I don't think any of them are Nazis. I'm not out here calling everybody Nazis, but what the fuck is this shit? Like, you watch Isabella Moody's stream, she's like, kill all Jews. What is that if not for a fucking Nazi? That is a Nazi. If you were advocating for the death of all Jews, you are a fucking Nazi. Okay? Amy, you became a fucking Nazi, you dumb bitch. After I supported you financially, after the hairdresser chopped off all of your hair, who bought you extensions? I did. When you didn't have a dress for any of your PBD events, who got you a dress? I did.
And then like these dipshits don't know anything, so he thinks he's getting like the sickest fucking gossip right now, but he doesn't realize it, probably because he's also like a simp, lonely virgin guy. I don't know if he's married or not, but it's like, oh my God, like hot girl, huge tits, giving me attention and dropping me sick gossip or whatever. He just has no clue.
What my mother did. Who gave you legal advice when you needed it when I wasn't an attorney? My Jewish mother. How dare you? How Amy, you became a fucking Nazi, you dumb bitch. After I supported you financially, after the hairdresser chopped off all of your hair, who bought you extensions? I did. When you didn't have a dress for any of your PBD events, who got you a dress? I did. What my mother did. Who gave you legal advice when you needed it when I wasn't an attorney? My Jewish mother. How dare you? How dare she?
Oh, actually, I wonder if Lauren's mom was Pixie's wife's sponsor, and that's why Pixie didn't want to say who sponsored the green card in the deposition, because Lauren admitted in text messages to facilitating a $10,000 bribe from Pixie's wife to Lauren's mom in order for her to sponsor her for a green card. I didn't see if they'd confirmed it or not, but she was trying to get her mom to accept a $10,000 bribe from Pixie's wife in order, because Pixie didn't make enough money to sponsor the green card. Maybe her mom actually was the one that went through with it.
Become a Nazi.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's
huge 10K
crazy.
Come up.
Do what?
Huge 10K come up.
Yeah, apparently. So crazy, bro. Anyway. Lauren lying about the depot in the same interview. 2:55:30.
Content.
Yeah, exactly. So Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what were you? Whereas I thought you had.
You were
something.
talking. No, I think I interrupted her.
Oh.
I don't even remember. You were talking. You bring up Justine.
Yeah, you're like.
He leaked some of. Okay, he leaked part of my deposition today, which was bullshit. Because in the deposition.
By the way, she did cry to Joanne about this. But also, do you remember when she was tweeting out, "Oh, well, fine, release it. I don't care. I'll release it. I don't care. Release it. I don't care." Huh? Crazy. Apparently now she does care.
The attorney was so fucking mean to me. And I just tried to be nice to him. I just went in, grinned, and he was so mean to me. At one point, he's like, "I'm going to bring you back in here." And I was like, okay, let's make a date of it. Fucking sue me.
That's crazy. The person deposing you from the other side was adversarial? That's wild. She's a lawyer, right? I thought she said she was a lawyer, right? I'm surprised. I thought they would have been like really chummy and friendly the whole time. Isn't that how it normally goes? Fucking moron.
That I flirted with her, and he you can watch the clip. It's going a little bit viral on X right now, and whatever. But you should release the entire tape, Destiny. Put it in context. Show what an asshole that attorney to me was.
I have nobody, not only do I have no problem with that, but there is some stuff that I think would be subject to the protective order, because I think there are personal details that that the protective order would apply to, which is why I can't just release the whole fucking thing. But also, nobody's going to be surprised that the lawyer is kind of being harsh, asking you questions. One is because you play like a cutesy dipshit the entire time, but two, yeah, it's an adversarial deposition. Of course. What do you mean? It's not there to just be friends and ask you a couple life details. No shit.
For the entire 20 minutes before that, okay? Can you do that, bud? Can you at least release the full clip?
That's crazy.
Wait,
is this like a case? Wait, how did he get it?
Yeah,
So
he filmed all those girls.
Destiny's getting sued by Pixie. Pixie's my bestie. Destiny is bitter because he's a fucking retard. He is somehow convinced that I mind controlled Pixie into doing this lawsuit. I didn't fucking do shit.
Now listen to how she phrases this. She might say something very particular like, I did not find Pixie the current lawyers that she's using. She got a legal team all of her own. Now, remember, she was DMing multiple lawyers. We went through this in Pixie's deposition and in Lauren's deposition, where she was trying to get multiple people to try and help Pixie's in her court case. But every friend that Lauren has said that it was a dog shit court case and they had no desire to be a part of it.
I may be an attorney. I'm not involved in every single red pill fucking lawsuit, okay?
Yeah.
So anyway, she filed on her own fucking accord, not with me as an attorney. And now Destiny is fucking wrapping me into this. He called me for a deposition that lasted 9 hours. 9 hours. And not a single...
On my birthday, thank God.
...single question was about anything relevant.
That's crazy.
Not any... He asked me about my exes.
Yep.
He asked me who I dated. It was like a jealous ex-boyfriend just grilling me. It was the craziest thing. And I'm like, I just want to...
She wishes so badly.
...get away from this guy. And this was like...
I just want to get away from this guy, but I can't help but talk to Pixie constantly about him or be weirdly gossiping. Where's that? I know I have it saved somewhere. Where's the fucking... Oh, fuck, I should have this like... Where she just like randomly full doxes like my apartment down to the fucking floor on some random fucking stream she was on. I don't even know why. I have this saved somewhere. But it was unprompted as well. It was super unprompted. It was just crazy. Fuck. This is somewhere. I'll find it later. It'll be in the thing. It'll be in the thing.
A week after he came to where I lived and like just walked the streets until he found me.
Oh, well, slightly different before. I thought before I was like stalking her or whatever. Now I came to where she lived, Austin, and then walked the street, 6th Street, until he found me. It was until you ran across the street after apparently spotting me from across the street, okay? Wow. Wow, guys. Wow.
Okay. Wow. So that's my rant about that. So yes.
Dude, it's like
I dated Destiny. That was a L.
Dude, you're like a
dated
Vietnam
me.
vet right now.
Where's the video? Like, I'll have to go over that again too as a manifesto. Where her pathetic messages of like, I dated her, really?
Wow.
Okay, so that's my rant about that. So yes,
Dude, it's like
so
we triggered.
I dated Destiny. That was a L.
Dude, you're like a Vietnam vet right now. It's like we said the word Destiny. It's like you can hear like Fortunate Son start playing. You know, the helicopters are going off in the background. You know.
Yeah, well, apparently, like Viet Cong, they're camping outside her fucking apartment here.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
And then because he posted, because we were talking about stuff going on X right now. So he posted, I texted him. People found out that I also briefly dated ABBA. Like, not even exclusively. Like,
Wait, hold on.
Really?
I thought Abba said that they... First it was, he didn't say anything. Then he said they made out one time. Abba said that... Or then Lauren in the deposition said we make out.
Really?
Ooh, a lot of different things being said here.
we just were like making out, like after parties and stuff. Whatever.
One time or multiple times?
Who gives a shit? So first of all, Kyla, you dirty fucking fuck. What is that video of you walking and secretly recording me and ABBA arm in arm? That is weird. We were friends. Why are you secretly recording me, you weird bitch, and then posting that on Twitter?
The fuck is ABBA?
Weird. ABBA and Preach. They're like these like and then Kyla.
Recently?
I guess so. I just texted him. I was like, you fucking loser. Did you get 2 bitches pregnant? He didn't like that.
Dude, I never want to get into this woman's bad side, by the way. Like, this is... You got ops, dude.
Yeah. So
smart man.
So I texted Destiny. I said something along the lines because Destiny found out that I hooked up with ABBA during the deposition because he asked about that.
Wait a second.
Hold on.
Hold on. Oh, wait a second. Wait.
Hold on now.
I hadn't heard this one before. Uh-oh. What? What?
So I had to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And so he was saying like, "Oh my god, when I found out that they had hooked up, I wanted to kill myself." So I texted something along the lines to Destiny about like, "Oh, if I had known that hooking up with ABBA would make you so upset, I would have done it way sooner." You know? And then he just sent me some Gunner shit, and now he posted that and put that on Twitter, and that's going viral right now too. So yeah.
Very cool.
That's Twitter. Thanks.
Very cool.
Not really, but I wanted to focus it on Amy. We need to focus it on Amy and get it away from Destiny. Destiny is a retarded cuck. Everybody knows he's a retarded cuck. We could just move on with our lives. Let's focus on the new babe. Let's focus on the new
fact.
Yeah.
Amy
now let's
Dangerfield,
focus
big
on
slut.
Daniel, come join this fucking Discord call right now.
The Gunner shit that I texted her, by the way, was... But okay.
We can't post a meme anymore?
I'm not allowed to meme. I'm not allowed to have a fucking... Can't have a goddamn fucking meme over here, but...
Now, tell me what I'm lying about. Tell me what I'm lying about, Daniel.
So I got out at a good time, huh?
Oh, yeah, you did. Wait, I feel like I've gone through these before, right? When I was texting with Jazmen, because Lauren found me and Jazmen it was me, Jazmen, and Irrelevant. We were in a hotel room because they had heard some crazy shit about me from Lauren. And then I had to talk to Jazmen and Irrelevant, because generally speaking, I try to keep like drama personal between me and another person. I don't like to shit talk people between friend groups because it just leads to a lot of weird shit. But then apparently Lauren was telling a bunch of people a bunch of crazy shit. So Jazmen and Irrelevant were together and they came to my room, and then I kind of like talked about it for like an hour. And then Lauren came and found us because I think she wanted to stay in my hotel room. So she came to my hotel and knocked on the door. I was like,
what was the crazy shit she was saying, or was it just stupid personal stuff?
I think it was making up shit about like me and Farha or me and whatever, and something like this. But I remember that I was glad that Lauren had brought up some of the lies in person, because then I asked Lauren, I was like, well, hold on, Lauren, was that true? And then I think she admitted in person that it wasn't true. So like, oh, so I think it starts with that. What was it? Oh, so Jazmen asked, do you think I was too aggressive with Lauren? And I said, I don't know. I don't think so. I'm really glad she brought up some Farah stuff in front of you, though, with me in the room, so I could super clearly demonstrate that she twists stuff like crazy regarding her, LOL. Yeah, I don't think you made the nose comment anymore, LOL, at least not the way she phrased it. By the way, Jazmen is 180 completely on this, and now Jazmen does think that I was literally trashing Farah's physical appearance or whatever because of whatever the fuck Lauren pumps her dipshit brain full of. You covered these messages a bit after Farah Fridays. Yeah, okay, yeah, I went over this. She said in the card that she likes you because something is better than nothing, and she doesn't have anyone, and you could be a good boyfriend to her for like 2 days sometimes. Because Lauren just liked hanging out with me, I guess. It's heartbreaking, but that's not your fault. I mean, I'm nicer to her than anyone else in her life. She could be kind of selfish and really emotionally driven, blah, blah, blah. But for the most part, she's actually a super nice person. Yeah, but this is back when Lauren was love bombing me, I guess, or trying to be a nice person. But, yeah, every single person in this streaming place is fucking horrible. So I am nicer. I am nicer to everybody than anybody in these people's lives. But then, what were these messages? Oh, this is Jazmen texting Lauren, I think. Even Lauren doesn't want validation. Well, she probably does, LOL, but no, it's better if she doesn't get it. Blah, blah, blah. This is the same shit that I've said. By the way, every single fucking text message that's ever leaked of me has always said the same shit, basically, that I've said publicly. Yeah, it's a really awkward position for me. It is with so many people now that my wife is gone. As weird as it sounds, Melina was a really good barrier from people getting too attached, because now people really want to date me, Lauren included. XX face. Oh, God. These motherfuckers, bro. I can't believe she still runs around telling people that we dated. Oh my God, the thirst in these messages was so fucking awkward. And she would delete them all too. I think I was doing stuff. Sorry, doing lots of meetings, although 1 minute. Oh, this is when I think she found us in the hotel, because she came to my hotel room. She's like, I may come to you. I may come to you. Kizzy vase, heart, I'm crazy about you. Have a safe flight. And I'm like, oh God. This is like not healthy / good for her. Oh, absolutely the fuck not. LOL. We were all just silent when she said that in the car. Oh, I thought about just like cutting her off completely from all sexual things. But then it feels like every time I would start to do that, she would like ramp up the offers. And then I didn't know if she was about to fucking crash out. Although eventually I did. I had to. I don't know who would have the responsibility there other than her, blah, blah, blah. I'm pretty sure if you ask Jazmen about this shit now, she'll literally 180 fucking everything because of Lauren chatting with her so much. But what are you going to do? Well, Fauci lied. People died. How the fuck do you draw these people? Well, it's probably some combination of streamer space things and then some combination of me just being the most desirable alpha male. I'm just kidding. I don't know, bro. It's because they saw how good I was at StarCraft 2, okay? Anyway. 2 weeks, okay? Please, God, 2 weeks. I have to say this whole shit of sharing private DMs with people. What's that about? Which part of what thing? Oh shit! Did you see the meme? Did you see the third girl, Mootin?
Oh, I didn't watch it yet, but I did see it.
Oh,
Third girl is
no.
at the tower. Dude, I don't know. At
How,
this point,
though?
Abba needs to go get his sperm count checked again, because
No.
now it doesn't seem like his sperm count is low.
Okay, I don't want to like make a crazy accusation, but like, I wonder if Does he just say that shit so that he can like fucking nut in girls without?
One is like, all right, that's a bit suspicious. Two, it's like, okay, what are you doing? Three, it's like, all right, well, I don't know what to say. What do you want me to say?
Where are we at?
Three.
Where's the video? I'm not gonna be able to find it.
It was a day or two ago. I didn't watch it, so I don't know if it's like a real person or schizo, etc.
Why is it that clavicular is just ending up in life? He had that Australian interview too, where every single person that he's like confronting is like fucking. He's like looks max to the fuck. Who is? Why? This is a judge. What the fuck? You saw that Australian interviewer guy, right?
Yeah, he was looking good.
It was like,
yeah.
holy shit! What are we doing here?
They're all
I feel like,
mogging him, dude.
yeah, I feel like people are literally intentionally pairing him up with the most attractive civil servants. Jesus Christ!
That's awesome.
Yeah, some Truman Show shit. Wait, you want to know the most annoying thing is? I forget, fuck, because so much of this stuff is like so much personal drama and shit, so sometimes I forget what I've talked on stream and off stream. Do you know why Abba stopped coming on to stream? This is the most annoying thing of everything. I don't know if I ever actually said this thing on stream, but...
Didn't you say it was just because he said that like he didn't want to be involved in like your personal life?
Yeah, that's why he said, that's what he said on his thing. The reason why was because I was doing political content. Like, if you actually go back and you traced, like, him coming on a stream and everything, he came on a stream when there was, like, crazy drama shit going on. That was why, right? When Lav was there, when people were fighting, that was when he hopped in. But then he stopped coming around when I just started to focus more on political stuff. Like, that was it, right? There wasn't any crazy dramatic thing. It was just, remember, end of 2023, most of 2024, all of 2025, it was all just, like, politics. So he stopped coming because it was boring, because it was just politics, stuff that he wasn't, like, as interested in. So, yeah, for him to reframe that as, like, well, it's because of the crazy drama stuff and everything, it's like, no, bullshit. If you want to know more about
He's
that,
just a little bit of a drama whore.
check out the Spotify exclusive video that 10-minute ad reads is about to link in chat, or 10-minute ads about to link in chat. But he joined me because of the drama, and he left because the drama was over. Which is fine, by the way. I don't care about that. That's fine. But to try to high road that...
Yeah, around 119.
119, yeah, that was it. Today is 84. Okay. Based on having...
This girl... was it, by the way, March, I think, of this year? Was it March 2026? That's our good friend Aber. Also, by the way, flown from America. How is he? Yeah, March 30th, 2026. There's like 3 girls pregnant in like the last fucking year. What the fuck? It is a sickness. It is a sickness. It is a sickness of the highest kind. The sickness. What the fuck? What the fuck? Bruh. This guy could have been a idiot. He could have been a triple dad in like 6 months. Spotify exclusive link in chat. Boom 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 boom. And she has the most receipts. Yeah. I don't know if she alleges that he necessarily did anything wrong or whatever, aside from the fact that they got lay preggers. But Jesus Christ, bro. I don't know, man. 3. That's 3. Do you think that's all of them? Or do you think there are more out there?
I don't know. It's gotta be all of them, right? It's gotta be all of them.
Sheesh.
There's no way there's another.
Sheesh. These are the most destructive blanks. Who was the guy that got killed on set? It wasn't Bruce Lee, right? It was somebody else. Oh, it was Bruce Lee's son? Where it's like when Abra's firing blanks and then you link the guy who gets killed by the blank revolver shot or whatever. It's so crazy, man. My God. Whatever. Sheesh. Sheeshu's gonna sheesh. What are you gonna do, you know?
Sheesh. I mean, if there's a 4th, like at that point, I don't know how many there. When does it end?
Does it end?
Oh no. I see 4 leftover pieces. That means I fucked up somewhere.
Ooh.
They're all the same,
Sometimes
too.
I hear the people in the Lego factories, they just like slide in extra pieces just to fuck with the builders sometimes, you know?
Well, every bag, I'm not kidding, every bag usually has like a bunch of like extras, but like 4 of the same extra, that's suspicious.
Ooh, sussy baka. Oh, this was the thing I mentioned that fucked my mind when I saw this. October 28th, 2025. Whoa, what a crazy vacation. What a crazy wolf dog. That's wild. That's wild, fam. Oh my god, he happened to be in the same area. That's crazy. That's crazy, fam. That's crazy, fam. How? Must have just been a coincidence. I don't even care that these people are together. I do think it's kind of like the disclosure and media thing. Like, I feel like it would change the perceptions of things if you found out that, like, every single person, apparently, that has some really strong opinion about me all happens to be connected through dick and vagine to people that are related to this. I don't know, man. Whatever. It's okay. I don't care. 2 weeks, please, God, this judge. She said end of this month, beginning of next month. Okay? 2 to 3 weeks. Please, God. Please, God. Destiny. Did Destiny say 3 girl? My manifesto. And then I retire from streaming to become a StarCraft 2 off-stream player. Did Destiny say 3 girls? Isn't it just the Filipino gym girl? Well, it was the first girl, and then it was a friend that she was talking to, and then this third girl just fucking literally came out of nowhere. She just appeared out of nowhere.
Thin air.
The thinnest of air.
We were not expecting her.
Big accusation, but is there anything about the GF of Pisco being friends with Straighterade? Who knows about any of that stuff? Don't know. Not touching any of that with a 1,000,000-foot pole. Who knows anything about that? Who knows what's going on?
So
with
they
any of
won't
that?
be in the manifesto.
Nah, because that's just that would just be
Pepe. That would be crazy.
No.
Come on, guys.
Stop.
The writers wouldn't do that.
No, that would be crazy. That would be wild. Stop.
Wait, I thought Straighterade was dating Lycan.
She is, right?
Oh, okay. Someone said like
Yeah.
Pisco, so I don't know.
Straighterade's not in that. Wait, was she in that server?
That would be crazy.
That'd be
pretty wild, Steven.
That would be crazy, wouldn't it be?
Be a little much.
Would that be
Yeah.
Wait, wouldn't that be wild?
That would be pretty wild, yeah.
I think that she was in that server though. But what are you gonna do? You know. Sometimes.
You know, there was a lot of people in there, Pepe.
Sometimes memers are gonna meme. You know.
What was that Shamoo thing you released on Twitter today? Care to talk about that?
I don't know. I have like a lot of random, things of these people doing a lot of crazy random things,
But didn't he say that he's never doxed
that he didn't do any
anybody
random things like that? That he wasn't posting like usernames and
said he was
passwords and
never.
Facebooks but that wasn't even in that server. That was in a totally different server, right? Kind of wacky, right?
Pretty whack.
NGL. Sorry,
Not
a fourth
gonna lie.
blank has hit the egg.
There's no way.
Pistar's girlfriend fired shots at you way before anything even happened.
What?
That's what? That might have just been because we had political disagreements, though. Maybe. Right?
Dan's gonna be gone all week.
Why? Oh, again? Seriously?
Yeah, he's taking a fucking vacation.
Are you serious? This motherfucker's on vacations constantly.
It's alright, we'll get some good politics in.
Really? Will we?
We will. Oh my god. It's
What?
over, actually.
What? What's over?
Oh, it's the fucking politics shit I've been sending you. It's fucking GG.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
done.
We
You
already
haven't
knew
been here
that.
since then.
Oh, yeah.
Supreme Court rejects Virginia's bid. What was the other one? Oh, Tina Peters got released. Yeah, it's GG.
Oh, that's just...
Yeah.
Sheesh. That's a big sheeshker. That's a big
Huge
sheeshker.
sheesh for me, man.
Sheesh. Right?
What do you want me to say? Not good.
It's not good. I agree.
We're gonna need Gavin to fix all this.
Hold on, I'm snapping my finger. I'm trying to get a card to come to the top of my deck right now. Give me a second. Hold on.
A card?
Yeah, a card. I'm trying to snap my fingers to get a...
Alright, you do you. I'm trying to finish this fucking Lego set.
How many Lego sets? Is this the second one or third one?
This is the second big one.
Here's a clip about Lauren doxing you.
And Destiny asked me to come to Florida, and I was going to Florida anyway.
Oh, please don't tell me Destiny still lives in Florida.
Yeah, he lives in Miami Beach.
Oh.
Like the Flamingos apartment on the 20.
He probably doesn't come outside much. He looks like he doesn't show.
And Destiny asked me to.
Okay, come say hi, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. This chick is crazy. What are you going to do, you know? What are you going to do? Oh, another thing. Dude, I have just so much of my manifesto, unfortunately, has to revolve around this crazy girl. Did you know that she's been involved in, like, revenge porning people in the past?
No.
Isn't that kind of wacky?
I'd say that's pretty crazy.
There's some whole ass thing. I don't know the drama behind, like, any of these fucking people, though. But it was this,
She's talking about a picture that has kind of gone
You can hear the voices. It's just a podcast where she was on a podcast like 8 other people.
viral a little bit of just
Viral?
dripping off Leah's face. And so when Leah had spread all this stuff about me, I was just like, why would you even take this woman's reputation? Like, why would you take anything this woman says seriously? There's literally pictures of her on the internet, which is like,
You're bouncing around the question. Hold on. You're bouncing around the question.
Answer it.
So these photos that are going around, you sent them to somebody?
Yep.
Well, as a saying, like, why would you trust this person?
Yes, she did.
Oh,
It's a yes or no question.
You're
Did
dodging.
you
So you said this.
Answer the question.
I just answered it like 3 times.
Did you? No,
No,
did you, or
you
did
fucking
not
judged
Yes,
it.
I sent it.
Question.
Yes,
I mean, she's
I
already
sent the
answered
photos.
this question.
Yes, multiple
I mean,
times.
yeah.
I sent the photos. Yes,
You're
I
a
sent it.
motherfucking betrayal,
I mean-
man. You don't do that. You do know that that's kind of. There's a line that.
Oh no! I spread around porn of somebody who was already on the internet.
It doesn't
no.
matter.
You're on the internet
somebody
because
who
the
lied
assholes
about
like
me.
you.
You sent it.
Hold on,
This
hold on.
woman
Didn't
has
you
lied
say you
about
were
me
studying
having
for
sex
the
with someone I
bar?
didn't
Hold
have
on.
sex
Yeah.
with.
Didn't you say you were
Yeah.
studying
You
for
did.
the bar
She's
and you
definitely
had
stuck
better
at
things to do,
Hayden's
but you keep showing up here?
I actually
Well,
finished my
The
studying
only
for the
way
day.
I
I'm
can
actually
think
pretty
of
proud of
that
myself.
come in
There you
her
go.
mouth
Rock
is
So
on.
something
in
that
my
people
breaks,
intelligent
I
I mean,
was
I don't
able to
believe
do
that.
2
You
practice
can
tests.
lie if you want. That's fine.
This chick
can
wants
show
to
you.
talk about narcissism.
Yes.
Damn, that was a long time ago. What are you going to do?
What are you gonna do?
What are you going to do? Hold on. I'll be back 1 sec. That's what I'm going to do. 1 sec.
Well, how about Israel, guys? Give it up. Give it up for Israel, everyone. Round of applause. Number 2 in Eurovision. Did I like Drake's new album? No. I didn't listen to it, so I don't know. Right now, I'm deep in the Lego mines. I'm trying to finish up. We're almost done. Make sure you guys all go to destiny.gg/store and buy your merch. Shrimple as merch shipping now. It should be arriving if you bought it already. And if you like your merch, you can send a picture of you in it to me, so I can give you tributes. You know what I'm saying? Bang-a-dang-a-dang. Is that with or without pants? Depends how you identify. Triple S. The mug is huge. Yeah, the mug is fucking massive. Isn't it nice? Who's DMing me? Very nice merch, Stooge. You bought 2 mugs. Can I use the merch for catfishing? Yes. Have I seen Obsession? No, I heard your movie sucks, rated it highly. Probably gonna go check that out. The E-shirt came today. It's kind of big for the size. Yeah, there's a sizing chart, but I felt like mine was kind of big as well. So you'll just have to buy another. I swapped mine to a large from an extra large, but I thought that was just because I was losing weight. Just good business to sell a bigger shirt than you wanted. Store link? Shrimple.as or destiny.gg/store. That's free material. SC's. Oh, I watched episode 5 last night. Okay. I want to apologize for all the shit talking I've done on episode 5. I wasn't familiar with your game. I wasn't familiar with your game. Episode 5 is for sure it's either the best or the second best Star Wars movie. I think it might be the best, but I also want to say I do still really like... Oh, fuck, that was the piece I missed. I still do really like episode 3. But episode 5 does a really good job of accomplishing actual crazy amounts of world building, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm a episode 5 lover. Episode 4 is boring. But episode 5 is pretty good. Pretty good. Did you watch the Mall TV show? I tried to put it on this morning, but I had dropped my Razor Crest and 3 pieces fell off, and I had no idea where those 3 pieces went. So I spent an hour or 2 this morning going from page 1 to page fucking like 980 of the manual one at a time to find where those 3 fucking pieces fell off from. And I fucking found it, dude. But holy, that took forever. I was so fucking mad. Just look at the picture. The thing, it was inside pieces that like I don't even think actually mattered at the end of the day, genuinely. Copium. Why not look at the Lego thing and see where the stuff is missing? How about you go to rope.com, buy some stuff for bondage? Bang-a-dang-a-dang. Alrighty. Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball. I've heard reports of you using illegal building techniques. That's not true, man. Peach. Do you want to see my Lego? Look at this. I'm not on cam.
What the fuck is that?
It's the jets for that.
Where are you put it?
Shut up.
Where are you gonna? Are you on camera?
No.
You're sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm not on camera.
You don't have pants. That's not funny.
It's not funny.
Where the fuck are you gonna put this? This is huge.
Yeah, I know. My dick's pretty big.
No, I'm not talking about that. We both know that.
No, that's huge too. Alright, get out of here. I gotta finish this up. I'm trying to finish this today. Be gone, woman! Ow!
Then you get hit.
I said bitch. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, so yeah, if you have any Legos, okay, and you want to send me your minifigures for Star Wars, I don't care about any other Lego unless it's a really cool one. You can hit my DMs up, all right? You'll get my full address, no questions asked, as long as there's a Lego involved. What you do after with it, that's up to you. Elmer Fudd. Don't care. Just bought the mug. Very nice. Lazar sent me 4 messages. True. Jewstalker buying Legos right now. Probably. That's alright though. Bing-a-ding-a-ding. Can I send my Lego set of Gaza? Okay. Now I am going to confess to something. I did buy... There's a Jabba the Hutt's Palace set. And I bought it. But it's a controversial one. Because apparently it made a bunch of Turkish people really mad. But I don't remember exactly why. But I like the set. I think the building looked like some building that was like used for a genocide or something. I don't remember. You know they did those. So I'm going to have that set in my background. I'm not going to open the box though. It just seems like a good, you know, meme. Because it was a controversial one. You'll have to look it up. This one? Let me click. Yeah, I think it's not. Yeah, I think 9516. You can look up all the stuff about it. And then tell me, because I don't actually know. It's because it looks like the Hagia Sophia. What the fuck is that? Hagia Sophia. Mosque. They're mad because it looks like a fucking mosque? Jesus Christ. Fucking get over it. It's not a mosque. It says mosque on the fucking Google. It says mosque in Istanbul, Turkey. It's both. Okay, well, how the fuck am I supposed to know that? It was a church then until the Ottomans took it over. It's the mosque, not just a mosque. You know, I'm kind of tired of all this fucking religious drama. I wish that they would just get over with it. Let's put them all in a fucking place. Let them do one big fight, and then whoever wins, wins. That's the religion. I got a feeling we'd be all reading the fucking Torah, though. But that is a risk I'm willing to take. Istanbul was Constantinople. Now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. Been a long time gone, Constantinople. Now it's Turkish delight on a moonlit night. Ah. Okay. A fatwa? Oh, don't... No! Babe, they put a fatwa on me. She doesn't care. Do I have dyslexia? No, I'm just a retard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I need a 12. So when they try to cancel me for having the, what was it, 9716 in the background, I need you all just to be like, he didn't know what it was. Because it's true. I just knew it was controversial and I wanted it. And someone linked me, it was a meme, but there was like a artist who did like a Lego Auschwitz set. And I'm telling you right now, if that was real, I would have bought it. Because that one went fucking hard. Just so we'd never forget. You can build it yourself. I don't do that. Every morning on anything else, by the way. 7 a.m. EST, it starts. 7:30, actually. I feel like I'm putting Dan in a fucking camp. Motherfucker doesn't pay any attention. He needs to fucking concentrate. Oh, what? You can't do fucking comedy anymore? Oh, comedy's illegal, huh? Trump's president. President Trump. President Trump. There feels weird, man, to be Trump. Help me. Dink donk. Just a quick... Oh, I'll wait for Steve to read that. Guys, I'm not kidding. If you got any old minifigures that you want to get rid of, Star Wars, you can send it to me. Just hit me up on Discourse. No, Discord, not Discourse.
What the fuck is a minifigure? What?
Oh, breaking ChudLogic at everyone. You ready?
What?
Just a quick note, as I know people will notice, more leaks have revealed Shamoo engaging in doxing about 4 years ago in a different server related to Sector. Doxing is a red line for me, so I have to ban him from the server and server ties. We'll also mention on the next stream. Thank you.
Wait, who's bringing this up right now?
ChudLogic apparently posted that in his Discord.
Oh. So is ChudLogic going to have that standard for everybody that gets revealed to have been involved in any of that kind of behavior?
Probably, right? What, you're saying there's more people? No. Heavens no. Dan can't stream. What do you say? Did someone ask about Straighterade in the Snark Discord? I wonder what Lycan is watching here.
I don't know. What is it? Whose YouTube channel is that? Lawsuit lies, pure spite, pure chaos, total destruction. Hassan was racist. Deleted proof? Total snake. Too far? Meltdown. Brain dead. Oh, Hassan was right. Sorry, my bad. Damn. Even our boy Lycan's watching the anti-fan hater shit? Is that just to go in the search bar?
What else was he supposed to do?
Oh, true. What is he searching for there? We can't make it out. We need AI.
Ask Grok. Grok, put him in a bikini.
What? Grok isn't allowed to do that anymore, okay?
Oh, he does. Oh, he still does. Don't worry.
Okay. I have to look at my pay spend before my YouTube guy kills me. 1 sec. Stop. Don't
Xena
ever make
is leaking
noises.
shit on Amy now.
It's all old as fuck, though. No one cares. I don't know. You guys are spamming shit, but this is all old as fuck. Who cares? Xena hates Amy because of, I actually don't even know why. But I know that Xena hates Amy. I don't know why. I'm sure there's a reason, so whatever.
These motherfuckers need to stop hating each other.
True.
There isn't anybody left. Where's Michael Jackson when you need him, man?
What? What do you mean by that?
What's love got to do?
You know what that means?
That one?
Yeah, that one. You know.
I mean, league time.
Whoa! 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 Memes. Why do you give me these memes for Instagram? We ain't got time for that, son. Jesus, there's so much shit here. What do you want me to look at? Vaush claiming Dems just funded ICE.
Border Patrol chief is resigning. Latest DHS leadership change. Nice. Oh, hey, speaking of the Department of Homeland Security, guess which political party that pretends to be progressive recently voted in favor of giving the DHS more power? I'll give you 3 guesses. The Combating Organized Retail Crime Act of 2025. This actually happened 2 days ago, but I didn't notice it because the mainstream media is not talking about it. Like, they're just straight up not talking about it. It's crazy. Can I get the, let me see. Overwhelming vote of 348 to 60. Widely supported. Thank you, Chuck Grassley. Cooked? Super cooked, yeah. What is there to talk about? Well, I think it's interesting because legitimately there is almost no media on this. If you Google right now, Combating Organized Retail Crime Act, or CORCA, if you prefer, you will find almost no news on it, even though it was passed through the House. Very, very, very quiet passing. They are not talking about it. Is that like those videos when a bunch of people rob a store? Yeah, that's organized retail crime is like that essentially. It's not that big. Like, it does not represent a significant loss to the profits of, retailers. But it is a spooky topic.
Hey! Crime is bad, okay? I know that's like a hot take now, but crime, not good. Doesn't matter the size, the scale. Crime is just, generally speaking, okay? Crime is bad. It shouldn't be hard to say this.
Wasn't the shit mostly fake anyway? Yeah, but it won't stop Congress from taking your rights.
Mostly fake? Okay.
Dave Joyce, I believe, is one of the co-sponsors of this bill. This bipartisan, bicameral bill would establish a coordinated multi-agency response and create new tools to tackle evolving trends in organized retail theft and combat these criminal operations. Again, almost every Democrat voted for this. Let's take a look. By the way, there is so little reporting on this that the only place I can find any information on it is from the websites of the members of Congress who support it. Like, I legitimately can't find any scrutinizing from the media. Not even from, like, independent-leaning media. So we can just pull up the text of the bill itself. H.R. 2853. To combat organized crime involving the illegal acquisition of retail goods and cargo for the purpose of selling those, I looked through 5 pages of Google articles about this bill. There are no major news outlets who reported on it. Want to see why it's so spooky? You want to see something interesting? You want to take a look? Let's see. Legalese. I believe it's in Section A.B. It's somewhere here. Establishment. Not later than 90 days after the date of the enactment of the CORCA Act of 2025, the Secretary shall direct the Executive Associate Director to establish the Organized Retail and Supply Chain Crime Coordination Center, a new center. The duties of the center shall include A. Coordinating federal law enforcement activities relating to organized retail supply chain, including investigations of national, transnational criminal orgs. B. Establishing relationships with state and local law enforcement agencies and organizations, including organized retail crime associations and cargo theft associations. C. Assisting the state and local law enforcement with investigation. And D. Establishing relations with retail, transportation, and other companies determined by the Executive Associate Director to have significant interest relating to organized retail, or in other words, a bunch of private department stores, like retail companies, Target, Walmart, whatever else, and supply chain crime threat.
Yeah, I mean, that's generally who shit is being stolen here. Yeah, correct, yeah.
Sharing information with those companies regarding such threats, collaborating on investigations and loss prevention activities as appropriate, and providing a mechanism for the receipt of investigative information on such threats. Or in other words, a majority of Democrats in the House just passed the creation of a new department in the Department of Homeland Security to encourage coordination and communication with local police and private companies to collect surveillance data from their cameras and their locations in order to coordinate crime-stopping efforts. Establishing a secure system for sharing information regarding organized retail and supply chain crime threats by leveraging existing information systems at the Department of Homeland Security and the Department of Justice. Tracking trends with respect to organized retail and supply chain crime, and supporting the provision of training and technical assistance in accordance with subsection C. So yeah, new department of the DHS. They're already doing it.
God.
Yeah, but they're already doing everything. Now they're establishing a new department specifically designed to coordinate with local police and private organizations to share surveillance data. Again, it's worth remembering that the Department of Homeland Security didn't exist 27 years ago. The Department of Homeland Security was founded with the explicit intention of stopping terrorism, not crime. Doesn't it seem a little bit odd to you that this would be under the DHS and not the FBI? The federal police department? The DHS was explicitly created to stop terrorism. What the fuck does organized retail theft have to do with terrorism?
So I don't know if Vaush didn't get these are the talking points or whatever, but the DHS was created as an overall department, but it took underneath it departments that had already existed, like the Customs and Border Patrol. Like, these are departments that did exist before DHS. It's not like DHS spawned and a whole bunch of new missions and things that had never happened before all came into existence as well.
Slowly but surely, they've been folding more and more law enforcement responsibilities into the overfunded, borderline uncontrollable Nazi pack brown shirt brigade known as the Department of Homeland Security, run consistently by actual neo-Nazis. Like, it's organized retail crime. Why wouldn't it be the FBI? Now we have a direct provision, a line of communication between private companies sharing their fucking asshole surveillance cameras they stuff in their toilets with the Department of Homeland Security. You all, again, like, I think a lot of younger Americans don't realize this. It's not normal that this is being folded under the DHS. It's not even remotely normal. Like, this is the kind of stuff that people back in the day would have been accused of fear-mongering over if they had mentioned this. Like, they'd say...
But isn't it correct that it would be more of an FBI thing? They usually take care of big heists and such. I don't know, do they? Does the FBI usually concern itself with, like, mass retail theft crime stuff? I don't know what the general purview of the FBI's mission is or why. if DHS thinks that there is some kind of international element at play here or whatever, or maybe it still primarily would be an FBI thing, but they just wrote some DHS responsibilities into this. So maybe, I don't know.
Hey, pretty soon all policing will be done through the DHS. They'd say this back in like 2005 or whatever, and then people would be like, no, they're not. Quit being a conspiracy theorist. Now they're doing it. This is what happens in fascist societies. Law enforcement increasingly takes on more and more responsibilities. Not just law enforcement, but the lawless law enforcement. The DHS doesn't like enforce the law. They're just thugs of the president. Still not needed for DHS, Uves. DHS was founded for the purpose of combating terrorism. All of this, this has literally nothing to do with national security. Logistics, international relations, domestic policing, all of this can be handled by the FBI, or if necessary, the Department of Commerce, Transportation, or Justice. You'll never get the satisfying feeling of being correct early. All the privacy-obsessed Snowdenites from the early 2010s were absolutely correct, and now it doesn't even matter anymore. Yeah, and the fucked up thing is that all of the privacy-obsessed Snowdenites ended up being like Trump-leaning independents. Not all of them, but like Snowden kind of did, you know? A lot of the people who were right early ended up being wrong later. So they're going to deport shoplifters as this DHS? No. The point isn't to deport shoplifters. The point is to summon more info for Palantir. This is just a way for the vast surveillance network of private corporations to be folded into the databases of the DHS.
True.
Don't you think that some of the reactionary influencers like Roach won't progress their movement politically until they take the next step and face their political opposition? You just sit in your room, you won't be taken seriously? Wait, what?
Is he drunk for these streams now? Or is he on like tranks or something to calm his anxiety? But don't you think it's some of the reactionary influencers like Roach won't progress their movements and politically until they take the next step and face their opposition?
Our tentacles are everywhere, okay? Islamo-communism now, Islamo-communism tomorrow, Islamo-communism yesterday. Don't you think that some of the reactionary influencers like Roach won't progress their movement politically until they take the next step and face their political opposition? You just sit in your room, you won't be taken seriously? Wait, what? You think Asmongold is going to fucking go outside? You think he gives a shit about a political movement? Everything that my naysayers say about me, including the Asmongold fan base, is literally 100% correct for Asmongold. A guy who never actually leaves his home. A guy
hold on. They say that I'm projecting? I think that they're projecting.
Guy who doesn't actually have any fucking skin in the game. A guy who doesn't actually give a fuck about politics at all, but is simply farming morons. That's what he's doing. It's ironic because his fans and Sex Pestini's fans say that about me. The only guy between us three who actually does have skin in the game, who doesn't just like try to farm out a personal slush fund for himself, who will do.
What? I have a personal slush fund? Please introduce me to said slush fund. What are we even where are these talking points coming from? Is he talking about the personal slush fund that was Progressive Victory that I never got a single payment from ever, that my community fundraised for, and that paid out fucking... You want a hot meme? You want to know some hot memes? I don't know if these filings are public. They must be. You want to know who made more money from Progressive Victory than I did? Was fucking Valkyrie. Didn't she get paid like $50,000 to do some fucking event with them? What about Austin? Didn't he get paid like $40,000 or $50,000 to do some fucking event with Progressive Victory? I'm pretty sure they did events with him, and I'm pretty sure they were 5-figure subs. These motherfuckers were paid out. So your friends, your best fucking friends, were getting paid more money from this organization than I ever did. I got $0 from Progressive Victory. These are public filings. They're I don't know if it's a PAC or a C4, whatever, but I'm pretty sure the filings, all this are public. Ask your friends, motherfucker.
Do a couple door knocking operations and then use that.
Even if we only knocked on 2 doors, that's 2 more doors than you and your community have ever done in your entire fucking life.
Personal slush fund to attack their online enemies over and over again and nothing else.
That's true. Yeah, it's true, King.
There's a reason why I don't talk about either of these two fools as much as they talk about me.
Because, well, one is because, as we've seen illustrated, especially over the past couple weeks, you have a whole little weirdo, creepy sexual sub-network that obsessively does it for you, which is nice, which must be nice. That strategy, by the way, super effective. Pixie, the fucking e-whore, does the same shit where she cries constantly to her lawyer and cries constantly in filings about how she needs protective orders so that I am gagged, which, by the way, the judge told her to kick fucking rocks on. Thank God. It's not fair that you can talk about me. It's not fair, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, in the background, you get all of your friends to spread all the fucking misinformation and all the weirdo fucking personal obsessive shit that you want, right? But they're not doing it directly, so, you know, must be good. God, it's so annoying how transparently fucking cringe these people operate. I wouldn't even care if, like, we're so far past this, but, like, if it was actually over political shit, at least it would be more interesting. But when it's this guy who solicits fucking nude pics from his fucking underage fan base and then is braggingly showing them to reporters and friends on stream, which he's done over and over and over and over and over again, is like, actually, these guys are sexually obsessed with blah, 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 blah. Oh, so anyway, let me get my bathtub pick perfectly ready. Let me get the bubbles over my fat-ass fucking stomach because I let myself go during COVID. Anyway, here's our bathtub pick for GQ. Dude, kill me.
Okay? It's because I'm invested in some serious shit. I want to make changes in this goddamn country. Okay? There's also a reason why I'm politically relevant and those people are politically irrelevant, right? So
my face when Dusty's community only knocks 2 doors, but I have to go to my Discord to brag. People have their communities to do letter writing campaigns to Congress. I can't even get a screenshot. I just wanted some fucking screenshots. Lots of help, guys. Thanks.
if you think that Asmongold at any point is going to actually do anything to change politics in this country, you're out of your fucking mind. He doesn't give a shit. The more likely scenario is once the Trump move is over, he will make changes. He will either move in whichever direction the wait, hold on. Doors open.
Uh-oh. He's brought in a professional abuser to beat the shit out of Kaya now when she's not staying in the same spot.
What is this? The only funny thing about the recent Assault Piker discourse is a fairly popular centrist streamer does exist. He just behaves like this online, so no elected official or think tanker can acknowledge him.
Jizztickler. That was a good meme.
What the fuck? I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at. Keck. Keck.
Hassan saw that, and the first thing that went through his mind was,
Destiny is a fucking great guy.
I agree.
His biggest opposition are streamers who average 500 viewers. He's bending every day, attacking them while you're pushing left politics.
True. My biggest ops. What was the, did you see? Holy shit. That Hassan replied to a Nicandros tweet?
Oh, yeah, dude. He's deep in it right now.
I think the Nicandros guy, it's so funny. Hassan said my biggest ops get 500 views. Doesn't the Nicandros guy get like 27 views on Twitter?
Yeah, these people are like nobodies, but he's responding to them.
I don't even know who these fucking people are. The only reason I know who these people are is because their names are in the Gypstein files. I have no idea who these people are. And Hassan is in their fucking mentions. What the fuck? 3,300 followers. HamasAbi, I wish, bro. How many subs does this guy have on YouTube? 22,000 subs on YouTube. Holy shit. Last video 3 months ago. Oh, but he attacks Mutaharaton. Attacks this Nux guy. Oh, he's conveniently against all of Hassan's enemies. Oh.
Yeah. Keck. You're saying he won't actually do anything. Asmongold won't, but if he wants to take it to the next level, he doesn't care about taking it to the next level. What Asmongold wants is to farm outrage and to farm the easiest dollars of all time. Okay?
Bro, those Zins, you're going to get fucking... Do Zins give you cancer, actually? I don't know.
When this movement moves, when the right-wing movement moves in a different direction, if it falls out of favor and woke comes back, which it already is, he will become more moderate. He has no real... He has some real politics. Like he is, I think he is truly a misogynistic, transphobic, racist asshole, right? But during peak woke, he was very quiet about those positions, right? Because he knew better.
Was he? I feel like he just didn't do politics as much back then, which I guess you could
He
say.
just played WoW and did
He knew better.
smoke bombs.
Like if Texas...
Hassan Piker explains Taiwan. What?
It's like if Texas used to, like, the Confederate States used to rule America, okay, and they were pretty fucking brutal. And then there was like a union revolution, and then also a massive war on top of that, and massive massive war crimes that were occurring, and then the Confederate States of America just basically seceded and were able to have their own thing separately, and they still laid ownership. They still originally laid claim to the entirety of America, and the Union kept growing and growing as a superpower around the planet, and then inevitably all of the other countries that were primed against the United States of America decided, actually, okay, never mind. We are no longer acknowledging that, like, the Confederate States is the real America. We're now acknowledging, and Texas being, like, the remainder Confederate state that, like, lost the war, basically was able to secede regardless, but was still laying claim to the entirety of America and maybe even fucking Canada, okay? And then all of America's enemies around the world were saying, no, that's actually the real America. Texas is the real America. And then inevitably, they were like, all right, never mind. We're reversing that. The Union is the real America. Texas is not the real America. But we're still going to keep giving Texas as many weapons as possible so they can maintain the Confederacy as like a stronghold against Union America, the United States of America, and constantly have that as a cudgel, constantly have that as wield the existence of the Confederate States, or the existence of Texas as a Confederate state, to the existence of the United States of America.
Is he anti-Taiwan? Yeah, of course he is. He hates him. He hates him.
Pretty crazy.
Is it though?
I love Taiwan. I like computer chips.
Whoa! Don't smile. What is this? Some Asmongold fans came into our YouTube chat because we liked mixtape. I promise you, we don't care that you hate our content. LOL. If someone said KF sucks. Also, I watch a racist, rotting, subhuman that's ugly as fuck talk for hours a day. Dude, good. Stay away from us, please. If you're taking a post like this, reply, by the way. I know when you make a post with limited replies, you intend to create a safe space where no one can be mean to you. So I thought you should know. If you need more Twitter, YouTube advice, feel free to ask. Oh, it's kind of like what Asmongold creates all day and every day. Based King. Oh, finally. Did you see that the Supreme Court told Virginia, I think, that they weren't going to change they weren't going to do anything about it? They were like, nope.
Yeah,
Kings.
I did.
Kings.
Yeah, king shit.
King shit. Who could have ever guessed that would have happened?
I mean, it wasn't the worst outcome.
I mean, it is, isn't it?
Well, the worst outcome would have been the Supreme Court saying that Election Day is actually one day and we're getting rid of all mail-in voting and all early voting.
Oh. Yeah, maybe.
So I guess we won.
True. Raul Castro to be indicted. Invasion of Cuba suspected. Gee. Sheesh.
Sheesh. Just go to war with everyone. Fuck it.
We've been at war with Cuba
since the missile crisis.
True. If that's not a she, sure. I don't know what is. Did you say that ChudLogic performatively publicly banned Shamoo? Handcuffed to monkeys. quote, hey, Chud, before you start defending me on this, there are logs of me doxing 4 years ago, so beware, end quote. Would have been nice. Honestly, I'm just thinking of severing anyone close to this. It has nothing to do with me. I am being expected to answer for everyone else's shit. Ha 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 ha. Well, I mean, that's kind of what happens when you reflexively defend all these people just because you perceive them to be enemies of me.
This is. I don't want to show. It's.
Oh my God, we've got.
Wait, when was that log?
This
When did
one?
he say that I doxed people 4 years ago?
This ChudLogic log, I think it's from like an hour ago.
Oh, so he only told him this after the tweet this morning.
Maybe? What?
Interesting.
Chud is saying that he didn't have knowledge about this in the past or whatever.
Oh, sorry. I thought I wasn't watching. I thought the Shamoo guy was saying that he had logs from 4 years ago.
Well, no, Chud is saying he didn't know that, so.
Got it.
This is. I don't want to show. It's the horrendous visage Destiny picture, so we don't want to look at it. Okay. So I'm sparing you guys. I went to great pains to spare you guys. But we got a Hassan response to that, a reply. Let's check it out. I'm sure the centrists who think I'm bad and toxic will have a field day with a guy in a court battle at the moment with the distribution of revenge porn in the process of acquiring CSAM. A guy who's written, that's technically true. A guy who's written a manifesto about white people being able to say the N-word. Wait, they do love Richard Hanania, who's also pro-Israel, so I guess it works.
Your friend!
Dude, the funny thing about
I need a soundboard for that. This one that he does where he's trying to do the push the super performative laugh.
is I totally disagree with Hassan on this part, and I could even correct him on some of this part. There's a little shaky on the facts. But I'm just gonna uncritically retweet instead. I think I'm just gonna uncritically retweet instead, right?
King shit, hell yeah.
Is Jaysock sleeping well again or no?
Oh no, he's been staying up late every night. Okay.
Ooh.
Until she was forced to give testimony in a case not even related to her.
Mentally prepare
Until she was
yourself. Wait, what is this? Hold on. There's nothing here. What?
Until she was forced to give testimony in a case not even related to her. It is related to her. The sex trafficking victim is the person that you were receiving pornography of.
Well, except none of that's related, right? Because all of it is out of statute range, and plaintiff knew that when she filed the case, which is why she lied about the dates initially, probably under Lauren's advice, which is why none of that is like relevant now, right?
The sex trafficked minor is the person that you received multiple pornographic videos of, Destiny. That you watched these videos. And I actually was looking through my logs. He described the fact that he watched these videos to me. Can I go grab that? Should we do a little fun right now? Should we have a little fun? Hold on. Let me go see my logs here. Until she was forced to give testimony in a... Whoa.
What is this guy here?
Whoa. Okay. So this reads bottom to top, okay? Or it's not sad. I don't care. He's probably a cuckold. The way that she would record video content is her boyfriend would record her on Discord while she fucked guys, and she would send me videos sometimes after, and her boyfriend is that guy. So he's watched this person, right? Just to be clear,
I don't know why he's so desperate. Like, he thinks this is like some huge owner trying to prove something. Like, yes, a weird fucking dude from the UK catfished me with a person who's accounting controlled. What are you trying to prove here? Like, every single comment I've made after the fact is like, this is a horrible, terrible, disgusting, like, atrocious thing. Every single thing that you guys have done has been trying to harass and bully this fucking girl until she either kills herself or somehow implicates me in this crazy fucking trafficking scheme. Like, the only thing you guys give a fuck about is trying to use this person's, like, agony to try to get an own on me. Like I'm a pedophile because you're projecting your own desires to fuck kids onto me. Jesus.
Right? Just to be clear, he has watched this stuff. He did get sent this stuff. They are sexual videos. They're not just random videos about whatever. He is very clear here. These videos are, well, he says, her boyfriend would record her on Discord while she fucked guys, and she would send me the videos sometimes after. Oh, that was Solo, bro? I'm pretty sure Solo was in the videos. I'm pretty sure even Destiny might not be stupid or face blind enough to confuse it for Solo in the videos. Yeah. Anyway, he also recorded himself moaning her name. Very weird. So, yeah, this is the person. They're deposing the person whose videos you were being sent. Okay?
But that has nothing to do with the court case. It's not about them because remember, Pixie and Lauren chose not to sue or implicate the Solo guy literally whatsoever in any of this, right? Also, I mean, like, if we're going to play, like, this stupid fucking game of, like, whoa, who's going blah, blah, like, I mean, technically, the Solo guy said the exact same shit to you, right? You sent me a cropped photo of child porn, otherwise why delete it when I told you it was her underage? Well, I sent you what I was sent. I deleted it because I was polite to do so. Does that make, is he a John too now? No one knows her identity. If they did, Destiny would catch a case. And maybe Jizztickler too. I wonder whose server this was in, by the way. Does this little symbol mean this was in Jiztickle server? No, that's just his Discord tag? Oh. I guess I'm not Discorded enough, okay. That's Spicy Chat, I think. I think it was in Queeman's server, because that's where that solo dude talked the most, but... You know...
Keck.
What do I know?
Nothing. Platner interview. What's our boy up to? Graham Platner, the leading Democratic candidate for the U.S. Senate in Maine, was supposed to participate in a debate with his chief rival, Janet Mills, last week. Mills is the party establishment's favorite. She's the state's governor and was the pick of Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. Platner is the guy who seemingly came out of nowhere, progressive 41-year-old military vet and oyster farmer, pitching a working-class revolution. Jesus Christ. The pitch really worked, at least with Maine's Democratic base and with donors in-state and out. And before the debate could even happen, Mills dropped out. That makes Platner, who has never held elected office and been a source of anxiety and debate among some in the party, the presumptive nominee, now running against the state's longtime and heretofore unbeatable Republican Senator Suzanne Collins. Democrats are now pinning their hopes on a random guy, as Platner self-deprecatingly called himself in our interview to help win back the Senate in November. But Platner's been dogged by controversy in his short time in the national spotlight, starting with the revelation of a tattoo on his chest that's widely recognized as a Nazi symbol, and then with media reporting on his past events with social media posts. So is he ready for prime time? I sat down with him to find out. Wait, Destiny. Solo just admits he sent people CSAM as blackmail. Yeah, no shit. That was his whole fucking thing. Yes. But nobody gives a fuck about it because they're only trying to take me down. I'm untakedownable, okay? I'm like a QB that can never be sacked because I'm like Kobe, okay? Kobe's never been sacked before, has he, Mootin?
Never.
Kobe is a rapist, famously. What?
He hasn't been sacked.
I can't see it. Hold on.
Obama.
Whoa. Damn. Look at him. That's intense. That's heckin' intense. Hell yeah. My God. Okay. Anything else? I got shit I gotta do.
What are you doing?
I will have to finish putting shit into this room and lighting it, everything. And then tomorrow, I'm doing a whole thing. Woo! And then normal streams again on the 19th, okay?
What do you got tomorrow?
Top secret, okay?
Ooh. Oh, it is a top secret. We cannot tell you.
Whoa, wait, what's this? What? Is this supposed to be publicly viewable, or did they not know that? So Jiztickler used to have a channel in a server called the E-Rape Defense channel, where they would argue with my fans about how I'm a rapist. But they privated the entire channel. You might be able to go see this right now. And only one user can see what's in the channel. It's fucking Pixie. But no coordination, by the way. Definitely not coordinating, though, by the way. Definitely no coordination going on there, by the way, though. That's just a meme, I'm sure. Christ.
Problem? Trollface?
Well, what are you going to do? Memer's going to meme, you know?
The house of, thus Solomon finished the house of the Lord and the king's house and all that came into Solomon's heart to make in the house of the Lord, and in his own house he prosperously effected. And the Lord appeared to Solomon by night and said to him,
Wait, is this AI?
It looks like anime.
I have heard your prayer and have chosen this place to myself for a house of sacrifice. If I shut up heaven, that there be no rain, or if I command the locusts to devour the land, or if I send pestilence among my people, if my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways.
You know what's really hard for animation to do well in like video games, and I can't tell if the AI shit is having the same problem, is it's very difficult for it to do like inertia and like weight behind things. So like if a thing like moves, there's always going to be like a little bit of like to make something stop, like it'll be like move this and then stop. Ooh, there's always like a little bit like I don't know how to explain it. There's like a little bit of like inertia afterwards. But whenever you get like these things where it's like, I don't know, I feel like the movement is like very like, it's a thing moving, but it doesn't like feel real. It doesn't feel like realistic or whatever. I feel like there's like a way that sometimes the AI heads move where it feels like weightless or gravityless or something. I don't know, it just feels kind of strange. I can't tell if that's what's happening here or if I'm just mindfucked myself, but this...
Then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Now my eyes shall be open and my ears attent to the prayer that is made in this place.
I don't think this is
For
real,
now
though.
I have chosen and
I think this is
sanctified
AI,
this
though.
house, that my name may be there forever, and my eyes and my heart shall be there perpetually.
Pretty sure it's AI. He doesn't
And
speak
as
this
for
good anymore.
you, if you will
Maybe, yeah.
walk before me, as David your father walked, and do according to all that I have commanded you, and shall observe my statutes and my judgments, then will I establish the throne of my kingdom according to as I have covenanted with David your father, saying there shall not fail you as a man to be ruler in Israel. But if you turn away and forsake my statutes and my commandments, which I have set before you, and shall go and serve other gods and worship them, then will I pluck them up from the roots out of my land which I have given them, and this house which I have sanctified for my name will I cast out of my sight, and will make it to be a proverb and a byword among nations. And this house which is high shall be an astonishment to every one that passes by it, so that he shall say, why has the Lord done thus to this land and to this house? And it shall be answered, because they forsook the Lord God of their fathers, which brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, and laid hold on other gods, and worshiped them and served them. Therefore has he brought all this evil upon them.
Woo! Where is this? Washington, D.C. National Mall. All these fucking losers lined up to go watch AI Trump read the fucking Bible? Really?
Lieutenant Griswold. Secretary, you heard what the governor said there, explaining his decision, why he thinks this was the right call. What's your response to what you just heard from him?
Well, overall, I think this is the wrong decision, and it's a gross injustice to our elections, our democracy, and election officials across this country. And frankly, Tina Peters' actions has everything to do with the 2020 election.
Oh, so you guys are fucking retarded, because all of you guys were saying that Trump can't pardon Tina because it's a state crime and blah, blah, blah. Guess what? Trump did pardon her, and now the governor has decided, well, okay, sure. Now the governor has pardoned her, and now she is good to go. Boom. This is the crazy woman from Colorado that gave access to a bunch of voting machines to a bunch of crazy people. And then this was the one where we watched the judge admonish her, because in her allocution statement at the end, after she was already convicted, she was like, so the judge, I know you know, right, that this is all bullshit, basically. And the judge had to basically stop her and was like, hey, lady, you're already convicted, motherfucker. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That was the one we watched, yeah. But the Trump also threatened the state of Colorado that he would start revoking access to funds and shit if the governor didn't actually pardon her. So, what are you going to do?
Frankly, Tina Peters' actions has everything to do with the 2020 election. The governor is correct that she facilitated the compromising of voting equipment during 2021. But make no mistake, the intent of her work was to try to prove Trump's big lie. And Kaitlan, just to clarify, Tina Peters did not let Mike Lindell into the voting equipment. There was someone else. But she did take the images of the voting equipment. Those were taken to Mike Lindell's cyber symposium, where they were supposedly going to prove once and for all how the election really was for Trump. Of course, it's a bunch of conspiracies. So I think overall, Tina Peters committed a crime. The judicial process should have been given the time to work out her sentencing. There was an active resentencing happening right now. And overall, this grant of clemency is the wrong message to send in a time when our democracy is in crisis.
Well, what are you going to do, guys? What are you going to do? The guardrails are holding. That's all that matters. And we're going to win the midterms bigly. We are going to win the midterms bigly. Hell yes. Please, just this.
And Governor Polis joins me again. The last Trump ally who was still in prison for 2020 election-related crimes is now being granted clemency and could be released from custody in just over 2 weeks, but not by the president. Instead, Colorado's Democratic Governor Jared Polis says that election denier Tina Peters will get clemency after admitting that she, quote, made a mistake and misled Colorado election officials. Now, Peters, you may remember, is the former election clerk who was convicted of conspiring with fellow election deniers to breach her own county's election systems in an attempt to prove President Trump's baseless claims of voter fraud in the 2020 election. Now,
Wait! This just in? My contacts at Twitch just let me know that they are unbanning Tina Peters as well from their website. I'm just kidding.
The president, who launched a very intense pressure campaign on state officials to release her, reacted to this news tonight, posting, quote, "Free Tina." Now, Governor Polis is reducing Tina Peters' 9-year prison sentence in half to 4.5 years. He said she could be paroled, though, within a month after serving less than 2 years in prison. And Governor Polis joins me again tonight. And thank you, sir, for being here. A lot of people might look at this and say, Tina Peters was convicted by a jury of her peers in a conservative-leaning county, no less. Why did you decide to commute her sentence?
I have to start, Caitlin, by correcting just one thing in the lead-in. She did not commit any crimes regarding the 2020 elections. She certified President Biden won. This was after the 2021. It was a small municipal election in the town. The results were counted, no ballots were compromised. But she went in and illegally tried to copy software before an update came. So nothing to do with President Trump's election. Just wanted to make that clear. Look, what the appeals court found...
It had everything to do with fraud that she thought happened during Trump's election. We listened to all of this at the trial. That was the whole thing that was motivating her to go in and steal images of the software to hand it off to people that had no business having access to that software, by the way, but okay.
What I agree is that fundamentally she deserves time, and she committed 4 felonies. Those are going to stay on her record. We're continuing to fight the president's bogus attempt to pardon her in court. But the truth of the matter is that her speech, meaning her conspiratorial beliefs and what she believes in, are certainly anathema to me and most of your viewers, and I strongly disagree with. But those are not the basis and should not be the basis for a longer sentence than somebody would normally get for this crime. And that's really what the sentence reduction is all about.
There's been blowback from Democrats and Republicans for this. Your Democratic AG called it mind-boggling and wrong as a matter of basic justice. The Mesa County Republican District Attorney who prosecuted her said it was misguided and misunderstood decision that undermines accountability and erodes confidence in the integrity system. The Clerks Association in Colorado said that they're furious, disgusted, and deeply disappointed by the reckless and dangerous message this sends. What message do you think it sends?
Well, first of all, I commuted the sentences of 9 people today. I pardoned 35. Tina Peters was not among those. The Attorney General and the prosecuting attorney from Mesa County were part of the prosecution. And there's something about prosecutorial pride. Prosecutors are seldom, if ever, satisfied by the commutations I make. And sometimes they're quite mad. What a commutation is effectively saying, we're going to look at the sentence as a whole. Was it different than other people that committed the same crime? There was, in fact, another public official in Colorado convicted of 4 felonies. One was the exact same felony as Tina Peters, and she got 0 time in prison. She got probation only. Had Tina Peters gotten a year or 2 years or even 3, I don't think anybody would have batted an eye. But the reason we're here is because I fundamentally agree with the appeals court that the fact that she engages in speech and has beliefs that are far from the mainstream, incorrect, should not, in fact, be a basis for harsher sentencing. And 4.5 years instead of 9 years, that's what we adjusted it to, is frankly a tough but fair and defensible sentence for the crimes that she committed.
I just want to follow up on what you said about this having nothing to do with the 2020 election. For people who didn't follow this closely, Tina Peters did give Mike Lindell, who everyone knows is the My Pillow guy, her badge, basically, her someone else's security badge, so he could go in and access the Mesa County election system.
Right.
And when this was happening, prosecutors said that she was fixated on voting problems after the 2020 election.
Right.
And had questioned the accuracy of those. And
well, Caitlin, I just hate to interrupt you. This was related to the 2021 municipal election. In the 2020 election,
but
she
did she give Mike Lindell?
Oh, Mike Lindell was just really super personally invested in a set of 2021 local elections then? You lying fuck?
I didn't want.
Did Mike Lindell get access to the election system or not?
Absolutely not. She had 2 co-conspirators in the case. She illegally got one access to her after 2021. None of these crimes were in 2020. None of them had to do with President Trump's election. If they did, this would be a very different story, and we wouldn't be where we are. This had to do with a minor municipal election and software.
But it came after the President of the United States
One
tried to overturn the 2020 election, and she was obviously a massive ally of his. And Mike Lindell, didn't come out of nowhere. He was also chief among those leading the 2020 election. So I just think saying that they're totally separated is not how people view this.
You're speaking to her beliefs. She is somebody who probably, you'd have to ask her, believes in something happening with the 2020 election. Her crimes were not related to the actual election. She was county clerk. She certified Biden won. Trump happened to win her county. It's a conservative county. Her crimes were entirely related to the 2021 municipal election. After ballots were counted, nothing was compromised. She had 2 co-conspirators. They did everything as bad as she did. One got 6 months. One got probation only. And the unusual sentence for Tina, she had a poor defense. As the appeals court with 3 Democratic appointed appeals justices found, she was ultimately punished for her beliefs and what she said rather than what she did.
Yeah, and the appeals court was still working its way out. You noted in your letter explaining this and her statement that she also put out that she's taken responsibility for her crimes and made a commitment to follow the law going forward. When you look at her website, it says that she's the victim of a politically motivated prosecution. Her Twitter account just reposted someone who urged the president to, quote, invade Colorado if you have to, do whatever needs to be done to free political prisoner leaders. I understand what you're saying about free speech and what she's allowed to say, but does that sound like someone who respects the rule of law to you?
She has very strange beliefs. She'll probably continue to have them. We don't punish people in this country for having strange beliefs. If you believe the earth's flat, you don't get, and you shouldn't get in our nation or my state, a harsher sentence than somebody believes that the earth is round. And that's what happened here. because of her speech and what she believes, which I vehemently disagree with. And I share the passion and the emotions that so many people feel who are outraged by the words she says. But the place to resolve those differences is by debate, by discourse, by arguing with...
Like, the things that you say can be aggravating factors for a crime, right? Like, we don't have, like, hate speech, but if you call somebody the N-word a whole bunch while you beat the shit out of them, that can be an aggravating factor for a crime, right? If you believe in some crazy election shit, fine, you have the right to believe that. But if those beliefs motivate you to commit the crime of stealing images of election software or giving people that don't have the right to access that software access to it, who are also spreading those rumors, then yeah, these are things that you take into account.
By disputing her, not for keeping her behind bars simply because of what she believes or says.
Did the president and what he said repeatedly, publicly, have anything to do with your decision to commute her sentence?
Oh, no, of course not.
It certainly made it a lot harder. Absolutely. President Trump tends to muck
It made it harder to commute the sentence? What?
Up everything he gets involved with. He does not understand this case. He thought he got her age wrong. He actually thought, like you did, Kaitlan, it had something to do with the 2020 election. It did not. Nothing to do with the 2020 election.
God.
She did her job. She certified. Biden won. 2021 election was what it was. And yeah, it absolutely made it harder to do. But it'll never, President Trump's never going to deter me from doing the right thing.
Governor Jared Polis, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Also here with us is the Colorado Secretary of State, Jenna Griswold. Secretary, you heard what the governor said there, explaining his decision, why he thinks this was the right call.
Get me the fuck out. Get me out of here. I made mistakes, and for those I'm sorry, Peter said, in part, I have learned and grown during my time in prison. Going forward, I will make sure that my actions always follow the law, and I will avoid the mistakes of the past. Defending his commutation of Peters, Governor Polis argued that while she did commit a crime, her sentence is simply disproportionate for a first-time, nonviolent offender. To be clear, I am not pardoning Tina Peters, and I have never considered a pardon, Polis wrote in a lengthy Facebook post. Tina Peters violated state law and broke the public trust by lying to the Secretary of State and illegally accessing a computer room in 2021 prior to a software update. Look at how much he's downplaying what she did. Holy why do you think he did it? Because Trump is threatening to pull a whole bunch of funding and shit from Colorado, and he's fucking leaning in on this dude at fuck done. Just cringe. Trump is currently baby raging, posting AI images. Thoughts on this Mockler retweet? How to dramatically improve American democracy. Ban gerrymandering and mid-cycle redistricting nationwide. Sure. Uncap the House. Yeah, sure. Adopt the Alaska top 4 primary plus ranked choice voting. I don't know much about this, but maybe. National popular vote for president. Yeah, maybe, sure. Accept DC and Puerto Rico's request for statehood. True! And all economic group spending by adopting the Hawaii workaround to Citizens United nationwide. Don't know much about that. And establish term limits, abiding code of ethics for the Supreme Court. Yeah, sure. Thoughts on this panel? We don't have time to watch it right now, but I'll probably watch it tomorrow, though. Big Tracy Weinstein debate. Hell yeah.
And prayer. Just weeks before they declared independence.
Wait, is this AI? Wait, are they AI every fucking person for this? Oh, no, wait. Hegseth showed up to make a real speech, at least.
The second.
In the name of Jesus, come on, put your hands together and give him the glory. Woo! He's the only name. This is a country where God have the opera.
Wait, is that A-Train?
Will the soul of a nation. Lord, be today. We love you because you are the one that brought us to Washington to worship you.
Hell yeah.
We glorify you. We magnify you. We lift you up. The living miracle.
Hell
250 years ago today, on May 17th, 1776, the Second Continental Congress called for a day of humility, fasting, and prayer. Just weeks before they declared independence, our founders didn't stride forward in pride. They knelt. They asked for God's mercy. They asked for his guidance because they knew that the cause before them was beyond their own strength. Now today, exactly 250 years later, we gather here on the National Mall to do the same, to give thanks, to ask for forgiveness, and to humbly ask once more for God's mercy and guidance as we enter the next 250 years of this republic.
True.
Now, our founders knew their time was short. They knew that the road ahead was uncertain. The foundation of our independence is our dependence upon the Supreme Soul, who's the Supreme Controller. Now, all of us and all of our leaders need to get on our knees and prostrate ourselves before the Supreme Lord, acknowledging that we are totally dependent upon him for our success, indeed, for our survival. Too often, leaders in this world have our eyes covered by pride born out of our relative power, fame, or authority. We lose sight of the fact that we are tiny and our time on this planet is extremely short. And yet we see ourselves as the controllers competing.
What is this, the seal behind her? What is this seal called? What are the words supposed to be in? I'm just curious.
With each other.
This is 1,000,000,000% AI also. I don't believe anything. It's got to be AI.
Over who is number one. But the truth is, there's only one number one.
Yeah.
And that's God.
Wow.
Our leaders 250 years ago knew this. They knew that we could not rely on our own strength, our own fame, our own power, our own intelligence, but we're completely dependent upon God's favor. And so they humbly approached that day of fasting 250 years ago, asking God for his protection, his guidance, his mercy. We are at this
Should be the seal of the DNA.
totally dependent upon God to light our path so that we can successfully navigate the troubled waters that we are in into a future where our children and their children and generations for hundreds and thousands of years can live in peace, freedom, and prosperity. So on this day, let us humble ourselves before God. Let us beg for his mercy and guidance. Let us be willing to forgive those who have offended us as we ask God to forgive us for our trespasses. And let us all today, in the privacy of our own homes and hearts, take shelter in God's love and remember him. Aloha.
I'm not believing it. None of these motherfuckers are real. I don't believe it. Hell no. This is live now. They're still going on.
I once was lost.
Okay, I believe the real people there. Okay.
Now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Come on, choir, tell them. Ready?
Come on.
'Twas grace that taught my heart to and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. If you know it, sing it. My chains are gone. I've been set free. My God, my Savior has ransomed me.
He's not just a man. He's not just
I haven't watched a new season 5 of The Boys.
Superman. Is the prophet of the
Don't waste your time. It's ass. That's what they said about your mom, and I'm glad I wasted my time on her because she's my queen. Okay. I'll be back in 2 days. Don't die, okay? Stay safe. Be careful. I love you all. Say hi to your moms for me. And don't lose hope, okay? Be careful.